Hello. Welcome everyone. Welcome back to KV Reacts and welcome Advait. Welcome Addy. Thank you so much for joining.
Great.
We are doing a late night live stream, and obviously we're gonna have a very special guest later on. I'm actually really excited. Have been looking forward to this for a very long time. क्योंकि जो डीप डाइविंग एनालिसिस होती है दैट इज समथिंग दैट आई एम स्टिल ट्राइंग टू लर्न हाउ एग्जैक्टली टू डू एंड जब से मैं इस क्रिएटिव स्पेस में आया हूँ आई हैव नोटिस्ड अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल who do some really good work. हमारे राइवल्स हमेशा ये कहते हैं that Arsenal fans are delusional. That is something that I completely disagree with, especially जब से मैं I've met these creators, I've met these people, and the kind of work that they've been doing. I would like to mention Football Showdown channel, Arush over there. I just read an article that he did on his own blog, I think, Football Tycoon karke, where he did a comprehensive article on Noni Madueke. So that is something that I read today. And जब मैं इन लोगों का काम देखता ना तो I feel really inspired. I'm like you know what, I need to pull my socks up. So yeah, we are going to be waiting for Daksh. He's going to be joining us in a few moments. And in that time, thank you so much for joining, guys. Thank you, Ritin, Roshi, Yash, welcome, Bitter, hello, Ash Bhai. Thank you so much for joining. Appreciate it. तो वरुण, देख वरुण, अगर तू ऐसे बात करेगा ना तो फिर मैं तेरा सवाल नहीं पूछने वाला जो तूने मेरे को बोला था. You can't talk to me like this. You can't talk to me like this. मैं मजाक कर रहा हूँ, man. Say what you want. तो all right, let's just get right into it. Loudmouth Football, welcome. So let's just get right into it. Manchester United have currently just made a 65 plus 5 million pound bid for. मैं अभी बस recent updates बता रहा हूँ सबको. Manchester United have made a 65 plus 5 million pound improved bid for Brian Mbeumo. And अभी थोड़ी देर पहले ही मैं विवेक भाई के चैनल पे था where they were discussing the situation at Manchester United. And अभी हम सिर्फ Manchester United की बात इसलिए कर रहे हैं because recent updates एक तो लिवरपूल की हैं, न्यूकासल की हैं और यूनाइटेड की हैं. तो जब तक दक्ष नहीं आता तब तक हम इसी के बारे में बात कर लेते हैं. So Brian Mbeumo's saga has been going on for a very long time now. काफी time हो गया है. Man United have still not been able to land Brian Mbeumo, and I have a very good I have an itch to make a Hitler video on it. Why are players not interested in signing? मतलब why इतना सारा delay क्यों हो रहा है यार Manchester United को sign करने में? Manchester United, one of the top 3 clubs in the world, one of the biggest fan bases, one of the biggest clubs. क्या हो रहा है? What is happening? आज मैं वो उसका भी देख रहा था, मार्क गोल्डब्रिज का podcast देख रहा था, where he was having a complete meltdown because Manchester United are currently eyeing Nicholas Jackson. Bhai Advait, can you please make some sense of all of this that is going on at Old Trafford? Because भाई मुझे तो समझ में नहीं आ रहा क्या हो रहा है.
Bhai, United have just become a circus. It's just a complete circus. I mean, finishing 15th in the Premier League last season. You know the amount of players that they have signed on huge wages for huge transfer sums. You can look at Mason Mount, look at players like Anthony, Jadon Sancho, who are all still at the club, and they're unable to find suitors for these guys, and these guys are still stuck at the club. And then they've been linked to. They've currently, I think, signed Cunha. I think whatever's going on at United is just it just doesn't make sense. I mean, as a rival fan, I completely enjoy it, but I also have a lot of pity for for these United for a few of you United fans. It's a complete joke the way the club's being run. They're cutting staff meals. They're sacking staff. They don't have the money. They're not able to get the Embermo deal over the line. So I mean, it's a complete joke of whatever's going on at Manchester United. I mean, now there's an improved bid for Embermo. Embermo's already said that he wants Manchester United. Well and good, but what about all the players that they're trying to sell? I think Rashford is one who's been expected to go out. Garnacho is another one who's being pushed out of the door because he doesn't fit that Amorim system. And again, for how
Mm.
long is the board also going to tolerate? I mean, if Amorim doesn't get results at the start of the season, they're going to sack him. And then you're already, midway through the Amorim process where you've already signed a few Amorim players, and then you have a new manager coming in. So it just completely doesn't make sense. I think United are they're literally in deep, 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 deep trouble, putting it very nicely. This it's a bad time to be a Manchester United fan. And I mean, being linked to Nicholas Jackson and Chelsea asking for 100 million, that's just the icing on the cake.
Exactly. Chalo, let's get on with our feature presentation. I believe someone who needs no introduction, a very well respected. I mean, if you're a member of the Arsenal Indian community, at the very least, Daksh needs no introduction. A knight in shining armor. Whenever Arsenal are faced with any kind of like difficulty on the internet, he's always riding in on his white
Oh my
horse,
God.
and with the most in the most eloquent and subtle way, he has perfected the art of disarming all the naysayers. So Daksh, thank you so much for joining. What a For me, I'll be very honest, it's a very strange moment for me because I've always seen you through my phone or through my laptop, and I've been watching your content for quite a long time. And here we are
Sharing a
discussing
platform, bro.
Arsenal. Yeah.
Yeah.
uh, what a
How you been?
moment.
I'm so sorry
And
I'm late, man. Listen, I sat through a 3 hour movie and I kind of forgot
Mhm.
how long 3 hours is. And then with the ads and stuff, And it was an old movie, a movie
Yeah,
that
yeah,
I always wanted to watch.
I'm
In
guessing it's Apocalypse Now.
Yes, it is Apocalypse Now. So I was watching Apocalypse Now in theater, and since it was released in 1979, I never got a chance to obviously watch it.
Mm.
Despite my looks, I am not that old. Uh, but it was a fun, yeah. It's a movie I watched multiple times, but I really wanted to see like the cinematic grandeur and like a 4K restoration, nice theater. बहुत मजा आया.
Mm.
So I'm so sorry. I just got like swayed by it. But I had like my Twitter notifications on, much to the dismay of the people sitting next to me. Because I was like, if KV texts me, I must respond and tell him like where I am in the movie right now.
No, it's actually fine because I was on Twitter at Subha and I saw some of your tweets, and you had mentioned कि I can't wait to go watch Apocalypse Now. तो मैंने तभी I just made the connection कि हाँ यार
Hmm.
that's probably the movie that you're going to go
Yeah.
watch, and that's absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine, man. Everybody needs time off. Even I love to go watch the movies.
Hmm.
I go on Sundays. Sunday afternoon is movie time.
Nice.
So yeah. Daksh, what we like to do here, we like to on KV Reacts, we like to have a lot of fun.
Hmm.
We like to enjoy ourselves, and I feel कि अगर आप एक YouTube channel start कर रहे हो, my point of view is कि यार you should have fun with it. You should enjoy yourselves.
Yeah.
Everybody who's watching should enjoy themselves. So let's do something. Let's start with a little bit of a game,
Cool.
which I have
Let's do
made.
it.
And Advait, and also guys, everybody in the chat, you're free to join in. Basically, the game is really really simple. All right. What you have to do is you have to guess the player, guess the Arsenal player. I'm going to give you 5 clues, right? Out of those five, two are going to be hard, three are going to be medium to easy. All right. And
This is
the
where I
clues.
get exposed as a what fan? Barcelona fan, I guess today. I'm just kidding.
I once I was thinking यार बार्सिलोना के फैंस को इंक्लूड करूं कि नहीं, बार्सिलोना के प्लेयर्स को इंक्लूड करूं कि नहीं. I was like, let's just stick to Arsenal and let's start. ठीक है.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure, sure.
Let's go for it. All right, everybody in the chat, if you want to participate as well, feel free to do so. All right, clue number one. Now, this is the hard clue. Okay. I once claimed I should be amongst the best strikers in the world, despite a goal tally that said otherwise. Arsenal players, they're all Arsenal players.
It's a striker, I'm
And for
assuming.
each clue, you get one guess each. If the guess is wrong, then I'll move on to the next clue.
Cool, cool, cool. Done. Do you want to start? I'm so sorry, I don't know your name.
I'm Advait Daksh, big fan.
Advay, nice
Yeah,
to meet you, Advay.
yeah,
I
same
should
here.
have introduced.
Yeah,
My
It's okay.
apologies.
Is it Advay or Advait?
Advait.
Advay. Nice to meet you, Advay. I had a friend when I was young called Advay. It's really nice as well. Nice to meet you, Advay.
To that guy.
Hmm. You want to start?
Kevi, just the clue again.
I once claimed I should be amongst the best strikers in the world, despite a goal tally that said otherwise. And these are not ancient players. ये अभी वेंगर era से लेके अब तक के era के.
Hmm.
Marwan Chamak.
This okay wrong.
Is it
Uh,
the Danish legend Niklas Bentner?
it is. Oh my
Oh,
goodness. What? How? All right. All right. We're in the
uh,
big leagues. Not bad. First
Listen,
clue
man.
itself.
If you knew Niklas Bentner, this is not tough to even like think about it. Like the guy was a character, man, and he's had such a crazy career as well.
mhm.
He's played for UK at
Exactly.
some point of time. Number 52, big Nicholas Bentner, bhai, Lord Bentner, as we call him. The Lord, bhai, the
Uh,
Lord.
there's so many cool clues. उसके बाद कोई नहीं. All right,
बोल बोल
fine.
बोल ना एक बता,
Now
what were the rest of the clues?
the rest of the clues were clue number two was my career included stints in England, Germany, and even Norway. But I'm
Yeah.
most famous for being a meme.
Oh yeah,
Ah,
1000%.
I wore pink boots and had massive confidence during my Arsenal days. Clue number four, I scored the fastest goal by a substitute in Premier League history at
Yeah,
one point.
from a corner, that header, I remember that one.
White Hart Lane.
Yeah, I remember that. That was awesome. What a substitution that was, man. I mean, those were the days when even when Arsenal, like we're not going for the Premier League and stuff like that. You still
It
they
was
still
fun, man.
played good football. They still played beautiful football. I used to love those times. I used to
Oh,
love those times
100%.
because they still gave their full effort. And the last clue was my nickname is Lord because football fans ironically worship me.
Oh, tha. Yeah,
Chalo,
100%.
next player. Next player. Clue number one. Ready?
Yeah, just let me share your stream. Tab tak you give the clue though.
ठीक है. Before I wore red in London, I wore blue and white in Amsterdam. Before I wore
Hmm.
red in London,
Hmm.
I wore blue and white in Amsterdam.
Blue and white. Hmm. Other way, do you want to start? I
Ah,
need to think for this one.
mm, blue and white in Amsterdam.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So not Eindhoven. So it's not timber. Is it Overmars? Mark Overmars?
Oh my God! Yes, it is.
Ah.
It's
What
not
is
that
wrong?
deep.
Man, I've chosen the two wrong guys to play this game with. Both players on the first clue. That is crazy. I thought Overmars was going to be the tough one.
Mm-mm.
Here's the second clue. I was
Yeah,
one of the fastest fingers of my era, yet I rarely smiled.
yeah,
Clue number three. I scored the winner at Old Trafford during Arsenal's 97-98. ये यहाँ पे मिल जाता है, I think. यहाँ पे
Yes.
it could have. And
oh,
then
yeah,
I played alongside Dennis Bergkamp for both club and country. And then my name, last one was just giving it away. My name starts with Mark, ends with Mars.
yeah,
So yeah.
yeah.
अच्छा चलो one more. वैसे तो
Cool,
पांच
cool.
player हैं, but we can do one more.
All right.
Okay. Player number three. I scored 4 goals in a preseason game, and some Arsenal fans thought I was him.
I
Oh,
think we both know this one. Don't
yeah,
worry.
we both know
Yeah, yeah. Mr. Emirates Cup legend himself. Right?
legend himself. Yes.
He's named after
He,
another Ivorian legend, Mr.
Yes.
Mr. Yaya Sanga.
The
that is
goal.
correct, guys. Game. अच्छा एक और कर दूं क्या? Because I worked hard on this. This is crazy. First clue. Everyone's getting it on the first clue. Okay, you know what? Here, player number four. I came through Arsenal's academy with huge hype and was compared to French greats.
Okay. Oh, that's the clue. An Arsenal
Yeah, that's the clue.
academy, a
I
French
came
Arsenal
through
academy.
Arsenal's academy with huge hype and was compared to French greats.
And French Arsenal Academy guy.
Great.
Interesting. Okay, I'll make a first guess. Um, wait. I came through the Arsenal Academy and was compared to the French greats.
I
That's it.
came through Arsenal's academy with huge hype and was
Yeah.
compared to French greats.
Now the thing is, he was compared to greats. Doesn't really mean he was a French guy, and I don't remember who's the last French guy who came from the academy himself. I mean, it could be Jack, but he was compared to like Javi and stuff, and like a Gerard as well. Hmm. Nah. Nah. French greats. Damn, this is crazy. You know what? I'll go and just say I'll say it's Wilshire, but it's not.
Mm-hmm. Addy?
French greats. I think French is the clue. Is it Coquelin? Francis Coquelin? No. But yeah, he wasn't
No.
compared to French
Okay.
greats.
Clue number two. Clue number
Mhm.
two. Ready, guys?
Hmm.
Mhm.
Injuries and tough competition up front meant I barely got a chance in Wenger's first team.
Injuries and tough competition up front, you said.
Yes, injuries and tough competition up front meant I barely got a chance in
I got
Wenger's
it.
first team.
It's
Is it is
Aliadier. Jeremy Aliadier.
Oh my god.
Aliadier?
Oh
है
my
ना?
god.
Yeah.
Jeremy Aliadier.
That was my first guess, but I was like, should I just guess Aliadier in my first thing? And I was like, nah. What if he's not French? It looks stupid. But yeah, Jeremy
You know what?
Aliadier.
All the other, if you got
Him,
this, then all the other.
him and Hoyt both were like really good.
Justin Hoyt.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. This fail, epic fail from my.
Fun. You said we're gonna have fun, man.
Yeah, but we didn't even get to clue three, four, five. I scored a memorable goal versus Liverpool in the 2007 League Cup. I later played for
Hmm.
Middlesbrough and Lorient. वहाँ पे I think
Hmm.
मिल जाता सबको.
Hmm.
My French name is long and tricky to spell. चलो ठीक है.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So I think we had fun, and I had a real wake up call. So well done, guys.
Hmm.
Both of y'all got it inside two guesses, and most of them were in the first guess. So that is amazing. All right, latest news on the transfer market. Let's get into the business end of everything. Uh, latest news on the transfer market right now is that Manchester United have improved their bid for Brian Mbeumo, 70 million, 65 plus 5. Newcastle are going in for Johan Visa and Liverpool are going for Hugo Ekitike. So first thing I want to ask is, and Advait and I were just discussing this थोड़ी देर पहले informally हम थोड़ा सा discuss कर रहे थे कि भाई Liverpool have been making signings left, right, and center. Liverpool fans are obviously super excited right now.
Yeah.
We've got Florian Wirtz, we're
Hmm.
going to get Ekitike, we've got Frimpong, Gyokeres, we already have Salah. But Advait had this question that he wanted to ask you, and
Hmm.
that was that are Liverpool ignoring the fact that how important Trent Alexander was to them, and will his loss impact them in any way? Advait, if you want to ask it in your own words.
Yeah, so I felt Liverpool, they're undermining the fact that, Trent's distribution, his set piece ability, his ability to, to play those killer passes, those incisive passes where Salah thrived.
Hmm.
And the same with Robertson as well. It used to come on both, from both the wings.
Hmm.
But now with Trent, already on his way, he's in Madrid, and with Robertson also now, age catching up with him. Do you think Liverpool might struggle this season with that? Are people undermining them,
Hmm.
or are they?
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think there's any right back the same as strength. So I don't think I'll check it Zentrum, don't worry. So I think there's no right back like Trent anyway. So yeah, if he leaves any team, there's always gonna be like some sort of uh like a void. But I think if you see what they've done, They have replaced his running ability with somebody like Frimpong. In fact, I think he's a better up and down fullback than him. If you want to replace his creativity, I think like Lala probably also said Wirtz. I think that's it. So they've sort of dissipated his singular ability into two or three players, plus added their own unique skill sets. Like I think Frimpong is way faster than Trent, probably way more athletic than Trent, and I think he's not like way worse, but he's slightly, maybe slightly inferior finisher um, than Trent as well. I think when it comes to words, I think he's more than capable to fill that creativity. And I think if you look at Salah's last season, he was a creative machine himself, to be honest. So
Mm.
I don't think if you just look how Liverpool have recruited this time, um, aging Robertson fair, but I think they got like what 22-year-old Kerkez, which I think is great. A Frimpong again, which is great, who's 24 years old. Apparently, they're in for Ekitike, who is 22, 21 himself.
Yeah.
Great. All of their signings, Wirtz, 22, 23, 25 and under. That's essentially creating a new spine for the new team. So it's a very impressive squad build where they have world class players like Salah, who can I still think can give you like 2, 3 good seasons. Van Dijk, who can give you 2, 3 good seasons. Um, and now half of the team in the next couple of years will consist of this spine with Kerkez and Frimpong, although they have Connor Bradley, who himself is not that bad anyway, by the way. Um,
Mm.
so they have that. I honestly don't think they'll struggle. In fact, I think they're still on us. Like, if everyone is there, I think Liverpool is still in some sort of a small island by themselves as the best team in the league. And I think they've only just cemented that position even more with the signings they've made. I honestly think so, and I don't think
मैंने
they're
भी
done. I
I'm
don't
so
think they're
sorry.
done. No, it's okay. I was just saying I don't think they're done. I think they're gonna let go of the players who they either feel will financially not serve them anymore, a la Diaz. I think Diaz is great performance wise. They don't mind keeping him. But if you give
Mm.
Diaz a 5-year contract at the kind of wage he wants, you're going to eventually just lose money on him. You won't be able to sell him, you won't be able to move him. Diaz becomes like sort of a sinking asset for you.
Mm.
And same with Nunes. Nunes, age wise, everything is fine. It's just he's not performing. That's what I feel. So I think they're not done. They'll probably go for a wide forward, either if it's a Rodrigo or somebody else. I don't know. Um, but I don't think Liverpool are like done by any means.
मैंने भी अद्वैत को यही बोला था मैंने बोला स्लॉट डिड इट विदाउट दीज प्लेयर्स जो ये अभी ट्रांसफर मार्केट में लाए हैं then just imagine the complications that will occur for all the other teams जब ये सारे players आ जाएंगे. I mean, let's not undermine how good Florian Wirtz can be. I
Hmm.
mean, जब मैं Nations League वगैरह देख रहा था तो I was like, yeah, ठीक है, all right, but there is a reason why he's so highly rated. Um, and there's a reason why Liverpool have broken bank to get that player. And not only that, Kirkez is the quintessential Liverpool player in my opinion.
Oh, हाँ.
Has legs for days, stamina
Yeah.
unlimited. मतलब 90
Yeah.
90 क्या है उसको 3 घंटे का football match खिला दो, he'll keep playing and he'll keep giving you
He's
his
also got that
100% right
mad
to
gene.
game.
Did you see that in the preseason? He tried to defend with his head when the ball was on the ground and stuff. So he's got that sort of mad gene as well.
Mm.
So
हाँ.
yeah, and he was like hyped for the transfer. हाँ? मतलब him and his father were like going on like shows and like हाँ हाँ हो जाएगा अपन जा रहे हैं उधर and stuff. Even when it wasn't confirmed.
Hmm.
So like he's hyped. उसके लिए तो dream move हो गया. But yeah, just look around their team ना. Like I think Alisson, Salah, Van Dijk. इनको छोड़ के ना
Hmm.
pretty much everyone and Diaz. Pretty much everyone is like under 27, man. Like most of them haven't even peaked. Sobos like
Hmm.
24, McAllister is like 26 maybe. और कौन बचा है इनके पास? Endo is
Gravenberch.
probably just the older guy.
Mm.
Gravenberch is 21, 22 himself. Um, Simic
He's got
Asby is not that like he's not an old dude. So I think yeah, matlab, and look, Slot like Lal also says, Slot is a great coach in himself. Bhai. He has uh, some magical touch to just push players the extra limit, you know. So and bhai, they have a great recruitment team behind them anyway. That Edwards and Ward and Hughes जो उन्होंने बिठा रखे हैं. Like, right now, it's a perfectly functioning organization right now, Liverpool. And the only way
Mm.
you can beat Liverpool is essentially outspend them. And I think in our league, only one club is capable of doing that. Is basically just outspend Liverpool when it comes to talent. Liverpool will try to find these underrated talents and these deals and stuff. You just have to outspend them and get the better talents, essentially. वही है. So I think right now they're in like a league of their own. But देख यार, football है, कुछ भी हो सकता है. You never really know. So yeah, let's see.
Even if Liverpool do buy Ekitike,
Hmm.
uh, they will still just come on par with what Man City have already spent since January.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, I think. अच्छा एक और बात पूछनी थी मेरे को. And this is just off the cuff. Mikel Arteta was assistant manager at Manchester City. Everything he knows from a managerial standpoint is what he has learned from Pep Guardiola.
Hmm.
Whenever I see all the Arsenal games, whenever I see all the Manchester City के जो matches होते हैं,
Hmm.
I notice both of them really micromanaging the players. ठीक है,
Hmm.
micromanaging each and every single aspect of the game from the touchline. I do not notice a lot of that from Arne Slot. uh matlab not to that level. I mean, you will always, whenever the camera is just panning from right to left when the game's going on, you can always see Arteta right at the edge of the touchline, pointing
Hmm.
out players where they need to be, where they don't need to be, who's doing,
Yeah.
who's covering the space, who's not.
Hmm.
Same goes with Guardiola. Arne Slot, I don't really see him anywhere. I think एक क्वेश्चन था मैंने बनाया था, and that is this, maybe it suits what we're trying to talk about. Is Mikel Arteta not turning, or has Mikel Arteta already turned Arsenal into a system over individuals club? And in the long run, is this sustainable? So what I mean by that is, वो जो जैसे we had players like Aubameyang,
Hmm.
Nicolas Pepe.
Hmm.
These players, they were individualists. They wanted their own freedom to play football. They didn't want कि यार कोई मेरे को माइक्रो मैनेज करे, आगे कोई मेरे को 10 स्प्रेडशीट दिखाए, ये बोले वो बोले, ये
Yeah. Yeah.
हीट मैप है, ये टैक्टिक्स हैं, वो सब. बट फॉर मिकेल आर्टेटा, दैट वाज द वे दैट आर्सेनल इज गोना बी रन फ्रॉम, मतलब आज के बाद, क्योंकि मिकेल आर्टेटा इज बॉस. सो इज दिस लाइक, कुछ प्लेयर्स हैं हु थ्राइव अंडर इंडिविजुअलिज्म, एंड कुछ प्लेयर्स हैं हु, I mean, if you don't follow the system, you're out of the playing 11, or you're out of contention
Hmm.
for playing.
Yeah.
So the question is कि अभी देखो, like these are actually Arsenal के ये अच्छे दिन हैं. अभी Arsenal के अच्छे दिन चल रहे हैं, because we are competing in the Champions League at the top level. We're going to the semi-finals. I think that is a good thing.
Yeah.
Finishing second consecutively for 3 seasons, from a rival's point of view, to make a meme or to take a dig at Arsenal, like, I can see where they're coming from. But from my point of view, from having supported Arsenal for a very long time, ever since seeing the club struggle through those days when we had to move to a new stadium and all that, and struggled with finances, I
Hmm.
think these are the good days. We're finally getting back to where we're supposed to be.
Hmm.
पर अब, क्योंकि we live in this modern world where one slip you make,
Hmm.
and there is like a wave of opinions that comes to thrash you, not only from rivals but from within your own set of fans as well. So
Hmm.
is this the right approach? Should we allow just space for a little bit of individualism? Is there space in Mikel Arteta's system for that? या फिर is he, do you feel that he's doing the right thing? This is the way that Arsenal should be run.
Advait, if you want to take this first, or you can take it, it's completely fine.
Uh, I think. Uh, I mean, it. I look at it as two sides of a coin type of situation. So I mean, Arteta has this knack of micromanaging players. We've seen it a lot of times where tells Odegaard, you need to cover this spot, you need to cover this space. He does it with a lot of them. I think he's learned that from Pep. Um, I. I mean, I agree with your point where you're saying कि अच्छे दिन है. It's a good time as an Arsenal fan because we are competing. I mean, competing for at least for for the Premier League and Champions League. We were semi-finalists last season. I mean, it's been onwards and upwards from the mess what we were in a couple of years back under Emery and everything. So I think Arteta, that way, he's brought stability. The thing where Arteta, I feel is he the right guy to get us over the line? Is he the right guy to get us to win silverware, to win the the Premier League, or or the Champions League? Is he the guy who's going to come and who's going to come in and get us across the finish line? That's where when I also seem to have a few doubts, the doubts with him. But again, I think what Arteta excels at is, I feel tactically he's pretty good. I think the current tactics which he has at Arsenal, where where we press, we don't really sit back deep, we don't allow opponents to dictate plays. Majority of the time, we are the guys who are trying to, we are the players who are trying to dictate the play and the flow of the game. So I mean, tactically, yes, Arteta is he's good. He's got a few tactics on spot on and everything. But is he the right guy to take us over the line? That's where I have my doubts.
Okay. So there's a lot to unpack. So from when you started with the whole micromanaging thing, I understand this whole micromanaging wala thing, where it comes from Pep school and stuff like that. But I think got to go a little bit piche and think about the fact that when he was assistant to Pep, he did see a very loose system where individualism was probably the priority, with Aubameyang and the Pepes and Ozil for that matter. He saw this. He saw all of this from across the bench. And if you remember his first interview when he became the manager, the interviewer asked him, "Do you think like something is gone from the Arsenal, something is missing?" And he said, "Unfortunately, yes. When I look at Arsenal, I don't feel the same soul," or something to that extent, that the spirit is gone or whatever, something has left. And I think what he feels the best way to get the spirit, the fighting spirit, or whatever you want to call it, the soul of Arsenal, as he said, is to manage it. Where individualism is great because it can get you something out of the ordinary. But how repeatable is that individualism? For example, our last FA Cup win. Do you remember Aubameyang goal over Kurt Zuma? Brilliant, right? Chops it, chips it over Willy Caballero. You win the title and everything. But how repeatable was it under Aubameyang at that point of time was probably something he was concerned about. And then what I thought he felt that was the biggest obstacle in Arsenal's failure or crumbling was the sort of moral decay in the dressing room. People coming to training late, people not training seriously. You just have to watch All or Nothing documentary where he basically says that you are not training properly, and I'm looking at it. And so his micromanagement isn't, I don't think he micromanages out of choice. I just think his entire tenure has basically been about rebuilding from the ground up. He had to manage training ground etiquette. He had to manage club mein in terms of spirit. You see the kind of like weird, things you'll probably see in the office where he's like, win the dog, or some plant everyone has to take care of, or some memories cupboard where iconic moments have been given up and stuff like that. So I understand why he micromanages, because that has basically been his role. In his first managerial job, he has had to basically rebuild the club from the ground up. Not tactics, not attacking sequences, not defensive sequences. Just show up for the badge, train properly, be prepared, be in the best possible situation, have the right professionals and individuals to at least uphold the name of the badge. One very specific game that comes into my mind was when we beat Liverpool 1-0. We were absolutely ass that time, and Liverpool had hammered us in that game. But somehow, I think Van Dijk had messed up the ball, Lacazette had won the ball, and Nelson had scored. Or it was opposite. Nelson had won the ball and Lacazette had scored. It was a very specific game where they had absolutely thrashed us, but we still ended up winning 1-0. And in the post-match interview, he said that, listen, the gap between us and Liverpool is this. But what I have seen is in terms of intensity, in terms of matching them on the field, fighting for every ball. No matter how good Liverpool are, we have to fight with everything. So if you have to fundamentally coach a team to compete, आपको compete करने के लिए कोच करना पड़ रहा है. मैं तो tactics की और अभी सिस्टम की बात ही नहीं कर रहा. People saying we need the Javis, we need the Ezes, we need the Mavericks, we need the Barcolas and everything. These are higher order thinkings. These are बहुत बाद में. ये अभी बंदे ने फंडामेंटल चीज है, compete करना है भाई हर गेम में, हर टैकल के लिए जाना है. When I lose a duel, I am upset. ये वाली मेंटालिटी डालना. Why is Martin Odegaard captain? Because he's a professional. He trains well, he recovers well, he's showing up every day. And yeah, he might not be the best number 8 or 10 in the world, but he applies himself very religiously. And so a basic sense of ethics and standard set karne isliye he micromanages. Now Slot doesn't do it. That's fair enough. But you see the same thing. Jab Ange nahi karta tha, Spurs fans were like super duper pissed. Now it comes to अब हमें system versus individualism में क्या चाहिए. You're right. I think we do need to like sort of be a little less robotic, and even he needs to let go of a little bit control. Like कभी कभी क्या होता है, when I can tell you from my experience, I'm an only kid. My parents were like super protective of me क्योंकि एक ही बच्चा है and everything, and they had a little bit of trouble letting go of me. You know, कि like, oh, अच्छा, अब अच्छा, you can do this by yourself and stuff like that. Oh, so it takes, I think he needs to also let go a little bit of how things will happen. Every little movement does not need to be synchronized. For example, when we scored those free kicks against Real Madrid, Jover was asking for an indirect free kick. Sometimes it's not going to work like that. It won't happen like that ever. And that is something he will have to learn, fortunately or unfortunately. He is, in a very ironic twist of fate, he is the second longest serving manager in the Premier League, but probably out of all the managers in the Premier League, he is the most novice. Everyone has a 10 plus 12 plus year career in managing in football. This guy is starting year number 7 now. That's kind of crazy that your first job is Arsenal. And so that's what I'm saying. He will also make mistakes, like in terms of rotation, in terms of game management, in terms of prioritization, in terms of when to pull the trigger, in terms of when to shut shop. He will overcorrect, he will underfix, he will overfix, he will do a lot of mistakes. But along the way, to what Advay said, that is he going to be the guy that takes us over the line? That's a question that's, I think, we'll find an answer to, unless it actually happens one way or the other. Either he gets fired or he takes us over the line. But what my rationale is, that if a guy has the balls to come to Arsenal as his first job, and say, you know what, I'll fix this club, I'll fix it, I'll take responsibility for it, and he fixes the fundamental issues, the fundamental rot at the club. If he can take us from mid-table to second, I think second to first, which I think is the hardest step to take, I think he is also the guy who can take it. I don't think there's anyone more ambitious at the club than him, because you have to be an absolute idiot or an absolute ambitious person to take this club as your first job, considering where we were at that point of time. So yeah, he's a micromanager, but I think this micromanagement was forced upon him. I think if it was up to him, he would just coach. But I don't think the club was in any shape to be coached about tactics. It had to be coached about the basics of being a professional first. That is why the moles who were leaking to the media got released. That is why you see the Mustafis and the Ozils and the Kolasinachs and the Aubameyangs and eventually the Lacazettes and everyone left. There's a reason he was begging Xhaka to stay for one more year, because there's so few professionals in the club. David Luiz, for all his like flaws as a center back, was a professional, unfortunately. So he had to stay. And that's essentially it. There's a basic level of demands set upon the players in the squad. Once you have those demands, fair enough, we can talk about tactics. But if you're not, Guendouzi, you're out. Don't care how talented you are, man. You're out. You create a ruckus, you're disrespectful, bye-bye. And that's it.
I think I agree with you. The reason why I wanted to ask this question was because I wanted to get this discussion out in the open. For from a neutral point of view, or whether you're for or against Mikel Arteta, a lot of that keeps happening with Arsenal Football Club. It
Yeah.
always has been happening for quite a long time. And having played football myself, um, क्या होता है ना, लाइक वील गेट आवर मोमेंट्स, ठीक है, विद इंडिविजुअलिज्म। हमको हमें यूट्यूब कंपाइलेशन वीडियोस मिल जाएंगे, ठीक है, 10-12 गोल वे वी स्कोर्ड सम रियल सेक्सी गोल्स एंड एवरीबॉडी वाज लाइक गैस एंड लाइक दिस इज द स्टफ, बट it is consistency that matters at the end of the day. How consistently are you producing results? Yeah, you got your 10-12 amazing goals for the season, but
Mm.
I mean, they would mean nothing if you're not getting 3 points consistently. The fact that Mikel Arteta's style of management, with not buying that many players, like he bought Kai Havertz, people said bad signing in the beginning. Okay, he bought. There are a couple of other signings that recently, very recently, Noni Madueke, people said bad signing.
Yes,
Without giving it Calafiori, not very highly rated. Why are we buying Calafiori? Why do we need another inverted left back? So people started making opinions without really giving them their due consideration, or like giving it at least 24 hours कि मैं थोड़ा सोच लेता हूँ, बोलने से पहले
Mm.
मैं थोड़ा सोच लेता हूँ कि मैं क्या
Mm.
बोल रहा हूँ, क्या सोच रहा हूँ और क्यों कर रहा हूँ ऐसे. So I think
Mhm.
Mikel Arteta, the scouts at Arsenal, and the best thing about Arsenal Football Club is the way that it is run. कभी कभी मैं सोचता हूँ आर्सेनल के बारे में, मैं सोचता हूँ यार, लोग अपने फैंस कभी कभी हमारे क्लब को ये बोलते हैं, वो बोलते हैं, राइवल्स ये बोलते हैं, वो बोलते हैं, बट आई फील आर्सेनल इज वन ऑफ द बेस्ट रन क्लब्स इन द वर्ल्ड. I
Mm.
think we could have been in such dire straits.
Mhm.
I don't know if anybody remembers Portsmouth. I don't know how many people remember what happened to Portsmouth. Portsmouth was one of the biggest clubs in England,
Mm.
and we don't know where it is right now. After shifting from Highbury to the Emirates, anything could have happened, but Arsene Wenger somehow kept this ship sailing. And
Mm.
now, ठीक है, Unai Emery का था थोड़ा सा. I think there was a mismatch of an understanding between what he wanted to do with the club, what the owners wanted to do with the club. But I think Mikel Arteta understands Arsenal. I think he
Mhm.
understands Arsenal. He has captained Arsenal. He has been under Wenger, so he knows the ethics and values that belong at this club. And I feel,
Mm.
just as you mentioned the All or Nothing documentary, I feel that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Nicolas Pepe, they weren't, they did not understand Arsenal. They were, in my opinion, they were diva signings,
Okay.
superstar signings, and I felt that they at a certain point felt themselves a little bit more than being
Mm.
handled, like to a certain extent, not completely. They gave it their all. Aubameyang did well for Arsenal. I'm not going to take
Yeah.
anything away from that, but from, because they're also people, right? Sportsmen are people. People forget that human factor कि यार बंदे की अपनी सोच भी होती है, उसका अपना इंडिविजुअलिज्म होता है, उसको जो करना है वो करेगा. So I felt कि like these behind the scenes kind of things, चलो कभी-कभी डॉक्यूमेंट्री में देखने को मिल जाता है, but sometimes we need to have a little bit more of a broad understanding as to how
Mm.
things are actually done in the real world.
Yep.
So I just want to get this question out so that we can have a discussion on it.
Mm. I'll
Adding
just say
a,
one thing, KV. It's just that I think fans can be irrational. I think that's the whole part of fandom. Like, yeah, there's so many times I'm like, just if you just not just react immediately, ki like, but then I'm like, but it's fans, right? Like fans only
mm,
want why do fans watch football? It's to get excited, it's to feel something. Or if it's not even like on a weekly basis super exciting football, then what's the ultimate payoff that I'm sitting through this anyway? And then when you sort of take this away from them, ki bhai, not only are you not going to enjoy on a weekly basis, I mean, I'm not saying we don't enjoy it sometimes, and even 5-1, 6-1 and all those things, those are fun. But if most weeks you're not going to enjoy it, and at the end of it also you're not going to give me a payoff, and then uske baad you're going to tell me how to react also, then I think
mm,
no, I think I'm taking a lot away from fans. So yeah, I mean, yes, we
mm,
wish there was more restraint, we wish there was a more perspective, but I honestly think fans should be like the last people to be questioned. So I think irrationality is a part of it. I think the hysteria is a part of it. I think the madness of, where is my Gyokeres ka here we go bhai, is a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
no matter how strange it is, no matter we don't know what it is, no matter, like, fan wars are unfortunately or fortunately just a part of it. When we were not able to agree anything with Gyokeres, people were like, just pay them the money, it's just 5 million, why are you haggling over 5 million but you spend 50 on Nonni Madueke, bhai ye kya ho raha hai? It's a part of it,
Mm.
man. And then when we agreed on whatever our terms were, apparently, at least on the fees, then the fans were like, nahi, nahi, be patient. Get to tell the people who are impatient, like, nahi, see, this is what negotiation is, man. Tumhe kuch nahi pata hai. You guys would have like bought him for like 100. If you guys were in charge, we'd have Guendouzi on 400k. It's part of it, bhai. It's part of it. And so however the window happens, I think irrationality in fandom is completely fine. It's all good.
ये तो अब मैं इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ like I'm trying to be over smart and everything because I'm old now. So when I was young and when we bought Chu
Yeah, yeah,
Young
all
Park,
of us.
Tim Kallstrom and
Park Chu Young.
what's his name? So when we bought them all and Ben Ayoun on deadline day,
Yeah.
I lost my shit. I was like, what?
Yeah.
We're supposed to accept this? You think this is a joke?
मिस्टर मेडिकल
So
आता है।
yeah, I mean, अब मैं अपने आप को 10 साल पहले देखता हूँ, 10-15 साल पहले देखता हूँ, मैं सोचता हूँ यार, थैंक गॉड, इतने सारे कैमरास नहीं थे तब.
Oh yeah, yeah. My digital footprint for some of the worst Arsenal years is surprisingly low. I had group chats, Facebook group chats,
हाँ.
with my friends where we used to be like absolutely lethal and terrible and savage, but nothing on the internet, like on a public forum like Twitter or something. That's so I'm happy my
Uh,
digital footprint is low in that term.
कॉलेज में मैं और अद्वैत साथ में थे, तो वी यूज्ड टू प्ले फुटबॉल टुगेदर एंड वी हैड आवर ओन, अपना फर्स्ट ईयर्स का फुटबॉल वगैरह सब था, बट थर्ड ईयर में जब हम आए,
Hmm.
इट वाज 2012 एंड हमने अपने घर पे वॉच पार्टी रखी थी फॉर
Nice.
गेस इट, मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड वर्सेस आर्सेनल.
God, that was the 8-2.
And I was like super gassed. I was like, oh yeah, Van Persie penalty missed, and then suddenly एक के बाद एक, and मतलब मैं ना भूत बन गया. मतलब I was white, and ये सारे मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड फैंस बैठे हुए हैं, किसी ने कुछ नहीं बोला. Everybody is quiet because I was like,
Yeah,
oh
because
my god.
yeah, I think it's football has this very beautiful moment, like I think एक point तक मजाक हंसी मजाक सही लगता है, but then once it crosses like a certain goal का threshold ना, you're like, this is just a joke, छोड़ा
हाँ,
बोलने का भी क्या ही
exactly.
point है. like I think sometimes when managers are under pressure ना, and they're like, oh no, this manager has to win this game, तो वो अगर 3-0 पे आ जाता है ना और 3-0 4-0 हो जाता है, द गाइज लाइक, हाँ ये तो सैक होगा. बट लाइक अगर वो 5-0 6-0 7-0 8-0 चले जाते हैं और लाइक नहीं नहीं, ये दिस गेम इज लाइक वन ऑफ 8 गोल कौन खाता है भाई. एंड सो या इट हैपेंस. But my friends did not spare me the next day when I went to school, man. There was a guy
Mm.
came with a proper badge with red 8-2, and then I was inundated with the I'd ate to be an Arsenal fan. Oh my god, man.
हाँ वो तो, oh
Worst,
my
man.
god,
Worst,
yeah.
Oh,
worst.
God.
मैं तो I was in hiding. चलो थोड़े से कमेंट्स ले लेता हूँ मैं.
Hmm.
काफी कमेंट्स आ रखे हैं. Ash भाई कह रहे हैं, Daksh, can you call Amorim and put him in the same category of
Hmm.
ambitious managers
Hmm.
taking up the United job when he could have potentially replaced Klopp/Pep at one time?
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you in what sense I think, Ash, they're similar. I think there are very few managers with proper culture changes, and I'm not saying कि like हर manager हर जगह culture changer होता है. I think, like, for example, the OGest of these examples is probably, for us at least, Wenger changed how English football ka culture, not only Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
Then you see Mourinho at Chelsea. Pep City added something very unique to the culture. Klopp, absolutely himself, and I think Arteta is a culture changer. I think Amorim's also a culture changer. I think where Amorim and Arteta probably differ here Ash, up till now, is in the support they both have gotten. I think like first window mein to even Arteta didn't get any support, man. Like we were signing like I don't even know who we were signing. Like fucking hell, Willian.
I felt bad for Arteta in the first season.
Yeah, I
Yeah, we
think
signed Willian.
when oh my god, when we triggered that party release clause, I was like, finally he's being supported and all. But yeah, Ash, for me, I don't know how Amorim's not been supported more. आज वो Ambomo की bid गई है. I honestly think it's a few weeks too late. And I also think it's a tad more expensive, but fair enough. If you find value in it, look, if he scores 15 goals for Man United, nobody's going to care whether he cost 20 million or 80 million, man. So fair enough in that context. I just feel that there are so many holes that Amorim has to plug, um, that it's sort of going to become impossible if you spent 130 million on two tens. A position where I don't think you were like completely lacking, especially when you have Bruno. Mount, fair enough, he's not, but then you can also see Zirkzee can also play. So you've got Cunha, who isn't really a 9, prefers the 10, and you got Mbomo, who also isn't really a 9, would prefer that right hand 10 side. So it's kind of weird for me to see to hire this guy mid season from Sporting, gave him one left wing back in his first window, and now you've given him 2 tens in the second window. Maybe he's asked for it, I don't know. But I feel like we've talked about this, Ash, haven't we? Ki I think you need midfielders first. I don't think Ugarte and Casemiro should be your midfield, or Ugarte for and Bruno for that matter. um, but ठीक है भाई, and there's considerations for a goalkeeper, an out and out number 9. And let's see what happens here, because as the window keeps winding down, your selling United ka selling power keeps also winding down, because they'll have to accept cheaper and cheaper deals to get the Rashfords and the Garnachos off. But I think, yeah, Amorim is a culture changer. But I'm very bewildered with the lack of support here he's gotten. I thought, agar aapka back three manager, you have to switch a lot of things. He would have been helped from day one of this window. When they wrapped up Cunha बहुत जल्दी, I was like, fantastic. But उसके बाद से it just went silent, भाई.
Mm. It was quite surprising because I think आज सुबह मैं मार्क गोल्डब्रिज का एक rant देख रहा था that United have been linked with Nicholas Jackson, and he went on this complete tirade where he started saying that Ratcliffe is a secret Chelsea fan,
Chelsea fan.
and he somehow wants to bank Chelsea. And he's secretly using Manchester United, and then he went on with this whole billionaires are horrible kind of a thing.
Wow. I
It
didn't
was
see
just
this
like a
one.
downward graph.
But it kind of
Yeah,
shows
it
you
was
like
hilarious.
how like actually they're absolutely like right to be pissed, man. Like they've had their worst end to a season. They're seeing literally everyone sign players. And it's gotten to the point that they're just happy Mbomo is going to come in through the door, I think, at this point of time. I don't think
Newcastle,
they
Sunderland, everybody.
everyone. And वही मैं कह रहा हूँ यार, like I don't think they have even like the energy or the time to go into like honestly the financial aspects of the deal, because now at least they have a body coming in. Otherwise, जो लोग 15th आए थे वही लोग खेलेंगे, प्लस उसमें से तो गर्नाचो भी निकाल रहे हो, रैशफोर्ड भी निकाल रहे हो, सैंचो भी है, एंटनी भी है. So you're actually subtracting more from the team that finished 15th. What kind of window is that, bhai?
Such
So I
a,
don't blame them, bhai. Like they should be ecstatic that a Momo's coming in. I don't think like
mm,
Abhi. I don't think you should pocket watch United right now. I think it's too desperate. I just honestly feel Brentford held the ground really, really well. Really, really well. I think they would have eventually caved if United decided to walk away. But maybe not, since Visa was also getting sold. Anyways, good for them, bhai. They got their guy.
mm. Arhan Thakkar says, "Do you think there is any chance that a striker deal falls
No,
through?"
man. It'll be too embarrassing for Sporting. It'll be too embarrassing for us. I think there'll be so much fallout from Gyokeres' side, from Sporting side. Everyone wants it done at this point of time. The guy wants to go,
Yeah.
we want to buy, they want to sell. It's going to be too much bad blood keeping Gyokeres at Sporting now. वे टू मच भाई, उसका फर्नीचर चला गया भाई।
Hmm.
क्या क्या बात
गर्लफ्रेंड से
करते हो?
ब्रेकअप कर लिया उसने, मैंने तो ये
हाँ,
सुना है, बट
girlfriend
आई
को भी
डोंट नो
dump किया उसने।
how accurate that is.
Garbage, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think, man. I think it's just anxiety that we have sometimes. If it falls through, boy, they better have some bloody good reason. Ki like Sporting were asking for 5 million once he make 5 appearances for Arsenal or something crazy like that. But nah, I don't think it'll fall through. Um, yeah, yeah, no, no, it falls through.
Anil Singh says, who would you rather prefer, Rodrigo or Eze? My pick is Eze because sometimes we lack individual brilliance from Odegaard, which can be which can be provided by Eze. Also, we will only go for Rodrigo if Martinelli leaves. A
Hmm.
lot of questions in one
Mm-hmm.
question.
Advais, you can start this one.
Uh, Personally, I would pick. I think yeah, Eze is a Premier League proven player. He's someone who can play on the wings. He's someone who can play as a 10. He can play as a creative midfielder. He can play on the wings. He can play anywhere in midfield. And he's got the Premier League experience. He's won the FA Cup. I get what he's saying. He's a talented individual. He does show up in big games. Um, he's a very good player. He'll actually help the Arsenal side. My only worry is if signing Eze is that going to restrict players like Odegaard. Uh, we've got Nwaneri who's now apparently been told that he's signing the new contract and he's going to be
Mm-hmm.
more in a centralized role. He's going to be Odegaard's deputy basically in that role. So if signing Eze, is that going to hamper Nwaneri's prospects, and is that even going to hamper someone like Odegaard? That's where I would come from. Personally, I would prefer Rodrigo because what he's done at Real Madrid. Almost he's in that category of the world class player, a very good winger. Again, being played not in his favored position on the right. He's someone
Hmm.
who likes to cut in from the left, and he's got all that samba flair, the Brazilian flair. Personally,
Yeah.
I would prefer Rodrigo, but again, the price and Madrid's asking, I think it's about 100 million what they're
Yeah.
asking for. It
Yeah.
doesn't. I don't think we're going to spend that much since we're already
Mm.
signed Madueke and Gyokeres and Mosquera done. I don't think we're going to go for Rodrigo. Eze would be a safe option, but again, I have my doubts and limitations on whether
Mm.
that's a is it going to be a two-step forward signing, or and is it going to hamper people like Nwaneri and Odegaard's
Mm.
prospects? That's where I'm coming from.
Fair points. Yeah, see, that's the thing with me. Um, we don't know if Rodrigo wants to move. For how much will he move? How long will the negotiation take? And even if you're successful, when does he come in? There's no point if he comes in like after we've played our first two games, one against United and one against Leeds, and third game tak aate aate we're like aja aja. Now we wait, try to bed him in for like one game week, and then he's off for Brazil, some international break anyway. So personally, for me, Rodrigo is just a waiting game, and there are so many variables in terms of who we are competing against for the signature. What's going to be the price? Can we pay the price? Can we get the price in favorable, whatever installments terms that we want? Does he even want to leave Real Madrid? When it comes to
Mm.
Eze, I think we know a lot more about him as a player and about the deal. We know we've seen what he's done in the Prem. That's fine. We know he's like 26 now.
Yeah.
Um, he can play on the left. He's more of a left kind of guy. So I don't think he'll directly compete with Odegaard on most occasions. I think he's probably gonna sometimes fill in on the left six in case we ever move Rice to a six or Rice needs a break considering it's a World Cup year. He's gonna play every game for England as well. Um, so it gives you something different to Rice on that left hand side as well. Can like very play left wing as well. But the best thing is there's an upper limit to this deal in terms of price. It can't go beyond 68. You can try and negotiate it down. We know how much money it's going to cost. We know it's the moment we feel like the negotiations have pretty much reached a dead end, fine, let's just pay whatever we want or whatever we come to some sort of a common consensus. Get the guy in, he'll be in here for like in the next 5 6 days from when we agree. Sorted. Um, if you look at our recruitment this summer, actually, we had options to go for somebody like Agume, who was supposed to be a replacement. We went for Norgard. Usse pehle aaj news comes that we were also talking to Palinia for that matter, right? So Palinia was an option. We went for Norgard. We've gone for Noni as a winger slash backup slash left wing. I don't know what his role is going to be. And Eze is also in one of those things. We are essentially going for players in Kepa as well. Going for players in these backup positions or as competitors, मेरे हिसाब से, who have Premier League experience. No sort of assimilation time, getting acclimatized to the league and all that stuff. Zubimendi is probably there, who's going to need that sort of thing. Gyokeres is played in the championship. I don't think it's going to be that long or that complicated either way. We've shifted our focus to more Premier League proven because of the adaptation wala thing. So I think we will go for Eze. I would prefer going for Eze as well. I think he complements what we're getting with Noni and Norgard and all these guys completely. Adds a skill set that we don't have. Carrying, ball manipulation, passing, dribbling, all those things. We don't have. We have pass first merchants. The only people who run with the ball are Rice and Martinelli. Nobody else runs with the ball. They get the ball, they pass the ball, then they run. So that's what I feel we're gonna go for either way. I think the biggest problem in it comes to Rodrigo or Eze is not money, it's squad size. We have too many players now.
Yeah.
We have two left wingers, now two right wingers. We have in midfield, it's stacked. We have to get rid of Vieira. We have to get rid of Sambi. We have to get rid of Zinchenko. We have to see what happens with Kivior, if we plan to keep him or not. So I think like 2-3 players को निकलना पड़ेगा अभी to make squad space so that we can get these guys. And I think money wise we're okay. I think money wise we're genuinely okay.
We've been all right for quite a while now.
Yeah,
Like
I think money
that's what
wise
I
will be
meant.
fine. It's just a question of can we generate the squad space for this, because it's kind of getting to an overkill point of time. Like most, अगर हम बोलेंगे हमारे सारे players fit हैं, we can't find space for bloody Merino on the bench, bhai. There's no space for Merino on the bench. You see these mock-ups that people are making with the match day one lineups with Eze and Gyokeres in them. There's no Merino on the bench. So we're kind of getting into that sort of overkill sort of position where we're not even able to like include all our important players on the first 11. So I think they need some space. Maybe we'll see.
Acha, next question is from my good friend Varun, who is also a part of Football Banter X. So Mo and
Hi.
Varun वो channel, and we guys have a lot of fun. Like हमने एक बार एक Hell in a Cell debate किया था, where I was Arteta in and he was Arteta out, and we were
Nice.
just like going at each other, and
Wow.
it was just awesome. Like I came in a celebration like a wrestler and all that stuff. So we were just having fun on YouTube. So it was very good. And हम साथ में Among Us वगैरह भी खेलते हैं. अगर if you
Nice.
play Among Us also, maybe you could
I haven't
maybe
touched that
someday you
game
could
in
manage.
so long, man. Once they got so many roles in, I was like, brother,
No, we just
what
play the
the
simple roles. We
fuck
just play
is
the
a
simple
vampire,
roles.
man? Who the fuck has what the
Vampire, seer.
bro?
Yeah, it got to a crazy point. It
Yeah,
got to a
I'm like,
crazy point.
listen,
So
man. I was okay with the engineer. It's fine getting an engineer, man. The hell? Somebody is like impersonating somebody else. You have garlic now with vampires. Like, what the
oh my god, werewolves, garlic,
There's a web. Oh yeah, there's a
warlock,
werewolf as
all that.
well.
This crazy kind of stuff going on. But anyway, well, we play the simple game. अगर कभी आगे, if we can,
Yeah,
we'll
sure.
figure it out. So उसने मेरे को बोला था, he wanted to ask you this question. So basically, his question is, can you rate this window pre-Jokeres
Okay.
out of 10? I think मैंने typo गलत कर दिया. Considering we have only replaced the players who have left.
Hmm. Excellent question. Adve, first you.
Nah, Daksh, I think this is all yours.
Okay, okay.
Eh,
He is right. I think if you look at the players we've gotten in, the Norgards and Mascara. Chal Mascara, you can't say it's a replacement. It's a pretty much a need which we had ignored for a while. Madueke as well is a need that we had ignored for a long time, a Saka backup, which we've sort of addressed. But if you look at our two midfielders, if you look at, in fact, Noni for that matter is basically a Sterling upgrade essentially, right?
He's
Not a tough,
Sterling.
not a tough thing to
Is
do
it?
anyway.
Is it? Is it like I thought मैंने अभी ये आरुष का आर्टिकल पढ़ा था and I was watching that podcast क्या है वो the Canon podcast
Okay.
and उसने काफी अच्छे से dissect करा था and he said that Madueke is a lot better than what he seems like Chelsea के लिए चला नहीं
Hmm.
but he has those chances. There is a scope of being able to coach him and there is a chance that he can be better at Arsenal.
Yeah. No, 100%. No, I agree with that. I'm just saying, like, in terms of like the squad space, we had
अच्छा अच्छा
Sterling
हाँ
now, and Sterling was supposed to be the designated Saka backer.
हम्म
I think that's Noni's role going to be. Um, Mosquera is probably the only one who's just coming in for a desperate need, but he's right. See, there's two ways to look at this transfer window. One, what are we adding? Are we simply just replacing the numbers? In which case, you do need the level raisers. Okay, like build on whatever you already have. Okay?
हम्म
And then the second thing is, are you just adding quality, like you said with Madueke, okay, like in terms of like dribbling, he's much better. He gets his shots off. Nobody gets his shots off like Madueke does. When
हम्म
Gyokeres, he's not the link up kind of guy, but he gives you something different than Havertz or whatever number nines we have in terms of Jesus as well, right? If you are looking for Eze for that left center mid left wing, he's a completely different player from what we have. So, in terms of personnel, he's right. It's just a okay window in terms of just getting the people out, people in. बट
हम्म
मेरे हिसाब से अगर तुम ये देखोगे कि हमने एक्चुअली रिप्लेस किया है और स्किल सेट में हमने क्या ऐड किया है फॉर स्क्वाड प्लेस आई थिंक फेयर वी हैव रिप्लेस बट इन टर्म्स ऑफ स्किल सेट वी हैव एडेड अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स जो हमारे पास पहले नहीं था कैरिंग हमारा पहले क्या होता था हमारा बिल्डअप सफर्ड सो ओडेगार्ड को डीप आना है ओडेगार्ड बॉल लेगा
हम्म
ओडेगार्ड आगे भागेगा फिर ओडेगार्ड
Hmm.
फाइनल थर्ड पे जाएगा और ओडेगार्ड ही फाइनल बॉल बनाएगा और फिर जब बॉल का कुछ
हम्म
नहीं होगा तो ओडेगार्ड ही प्रेस करेगा ठीक है सो वन सिंगल पॉइंट ऑफ फेलियर हो गया था हमारा ओडेगार्ड व्हेन देन ही गॉट इंजर्ड वी ट्राइड सो मेनी सॉल्यूशंस हमने मेरिनो ट्राई किया डिडंट वर्क आउट ट्रॉसा ट्राई किया okay worked out tried Saka to be the main creator he got all those assists then he blew his hamstring himself है ना so essentially we tried a lot of solutions अब क्या है ओडेगार्ड सिंगल पॉइंट ऑफ फेलियर नहीं है बिल्डअप करना है जुबिमेंडी संभाल सकता है प्रेस करना है ओडेगार्ड संभाल लेगा फाइनल बॉल करना है now it can be Saka now it can be Odegaard if sometimes we play with Eze could be Eze as well who knows तो हमने बेसिकली सिंगल पॉइंट ऑफ फेलियर में रिडंडेंसी बिल्ड कर दिया which is why I think it's actually really really good transfer window. I won't say it's a 5 but I won't say it's a 9 either. I think getting Eze makes it a
हम्म
proper 9 out of 10 window for me. If it's then somehow if we manage to sell one of our left wingers and get Rodrigo then it's 11 on 10 then we are going. But for now like I said we are just maintaining the same level with Liverpool right now. If Liverpool got Isak वो गैप और बढ़ जाता राइट नाउ वी जस्ट मेकिंग श्योर कि जो डिफरेंस बिटवीन हमारे और लिवरपूल का था लास्ट सीजन उतना ही रहे और इस बार अगर हम वेरिएंस के अच्छी साइड पे पहुंच जाएं कुछ ड्रॉज जीत में बदल जाएं उनके कुछ विंस ड्रॉज में बदल जाएं एंड समहाउ वी गेट अ बिट लकी then I think it's fine. We're just playing on the same probabilities. But get Eze and somehow you manage to get Rodrigo, then it's a neck and neck, or maybe we might even be slightly better because they have replaced Trent, they have replaced Robertson, essentially his skill set. They have, but they also signed Wirtz, and Wirtz isn't replacing anyone; he's adding more. मेरे हिसाब,
हम्म
right? And you get Ekatike, who might replace Nunes maybe, but they are. I think Liverpool are essentially the only club who've recruited to improve massively where they were last season. So that's what I feel.
okay I think Varun is very pleased with your answer.
Thanks, Varun.
uh, सिद्धार्थ पूछ रहा है are you guys disappointed that Arsenal board didn't even flirt with Isaac this whole window, just banished him totally off plans?
Hmm.
uh, hmm,
Yeah, this is a
I
good question, bhai. But I think Newcastle made it pretty much clear, na, at the
Yeah,
at the end of last season, saying that he's not for sale. He's not going to be.
yeah.
If we are even going to consider valuating him, it's something going to be about above 150 million or something of that sort. And I don't think we deal with such money. I don't think as a club, we already had to strengthen areas where we had people leaving like Jorginho and Partey, so we needed to
Mm.
use that funds there. So I don't think Isak would have made sense
Yeah, like
financially.
a lot of times we don't get to know like how these transfer conversations even happen. Like
True, very true. That's
sometimes you'll be like for example, Zubimendi literally happened out of the blue, and then now they're like whole articles ki like Edu and Neto went to Malaga. These guys went to and they sat down with whoever was associate ka banda. I forgot his name. He was linked to us as well. Um, but yeah, Sociedad से बात करी, then March में हमने wrap up कर लिया by everything. We found out about this like हाँ when the deal happened, but apparently this has been going on for a long time. आज हमें पता लगता that we were in for Palinia, but then Palinia के साथ finally it couldn't agree anything with Bayern. Now it would have been probably just like one of those situations where like we probably went to Isak like Isak आएगा, he's like Newcastle से बात करो, like Newcastle बेचोगे, उन्होंने बोल दिया नहीं बेचेंगे, like ठीक है छोड़ो फिर, क्या ही point है फिर, right?
right.
And probably a lot of these things just don't make it past the conversation stage. Like अब जैसे चेल्सी ने पूछा होगा हमसे कि लाइक hey listen you buying Noni, do you want to sell Ethan by any chance? अरे भाड़ में जाओ सालों, that's it, है ना? So it's like is somebody just asking like oh do you think Chelsea should have flirted with Ethan a little bit and stuff? वही वाली बात है, उन्होंने पूछा होगा, हमने मना कर दिया, and that's probably the long and short. We must have asked for Isak. We have been so obsessed with the guy भाई, 3 साल 2 साल से हम पीछे पड़े हुए हैं. उसने बोल दिया होगा नहीं आना मेरे को या फिर उस क्लब ने बोल दिया होगा नहीं बेचेंगे, लाइक ठीक है इट्स फाइन.
CBS स्पोर्ट्स पे भी तो ऑनरी और ईसाक के बीच में बात चल रही थी एंड ऑनरी वाज लाइक like what do you think, you want to join us and some ऐसा कुछ बात हुआ था, आई रिमेम्बर. अच्छा चलो, अभी एक छोटा सा एक फन स्टोरी बता देता हूँ अबाउट हाउ मी एंड अद्वैत बिकेम आर्सेनल फैंस, नॉट बिकेम आर्सेनल फैंस, हाउ वी मेट. तो कॉलेज में हमारी रैगिंग चल रही थी, हम फर्स्ट ईयर्स थे एंड हम वहाँ खड़े हुए थे लाइन में वगैरह. IHM बैंगलोर.
नाइस, ओके.
तो वहाँ पे हम खड़े हुए थे, सीनियर्स रैगिंग दे रहे हैं एंड बेसिकली हमसे पूछा गया था कि जो जो फुटबॉल लोग खेलते हैं ना, जो फुटबॉलर्स हैं वो आओ. तो हम गए, हाँ हम तो फुटबॉल खेलते हैं, फुटबॉल खेलना है. हम पहुंच गए वहाँ पे, फिर पता चला कि ये रैगिंग करने का नया तरीका है, हमें बुलाया गया है, दे बेटेड अस. तो वहाँ पे अद्वैत की रैगिंग हो चुकी थी और एक और बंदा खड़ा होता, राहुल करके, मेरे को याद है. उससे पूछा गया कि अच्छा तू कौन सी टीम को सपोर्ट करता है. वो कहता है कि अच्छा भैया मैं तो ये मानता हूँ कि जो टीम जीतती रहती है ना उसको सपोर्ट करना चाहिए. और फिर मैं अद्वैत को देखता, अद्वैत मुझे देखता, हम दोनों अपना सर हिला देते कि गलत जवाब. फिर फिर नेक्स्ट टर्न मेरी होती है एंड वो आके पूछते हैं कि अच्छा सर नीचे कर और बता कौन सी टीम को सपोर्ट करता है. मैंने आर्सेनल. तो वन ऑफ द जो हमारा एक सीनियर था वो आर्सेनल फैन था, दूसरा था मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड फैन. एंड and फिर they asked us some more questions and then that is how me and Advait actually connected for the first time ever. Yeah, we understood कि अच्छा तू भी आर्सेनल फैन है, मैं भी आर्सेनल फैन, तू भी फुटबॉल खेलता है, मैं भी फुटबॉल खेलता हूँ.
नाइस.
So that is how we कर. and फिर हमने फर्स्ट ईयर की टीम बनाई, सेकंड ईयर, फिर थर्ड ईयर में चीटिंग करी फर्स्ट ईयर को हराने के लिए. You know, normal things in college.
Of
So
course.
Daksh, I probably कहीं ना कहीं मैंने on your Instagram I must have you were doing a Q&A a couple of weeks ago or something like that, and किसी ने पूछा था how you became an Arsenal fan. So can you just remind us, I think,
Okay.
how did you become an Arsenal fan?
Yeah. So mine was purely an accident, man. So here's the thing. I had this game. My dad got me a football game for the first time. It was FIFA 2000 demo or FIFA 99 demo. I think FIFA 2000 demo it was. And I played the hell out of that game.
Yeah.
I played the hell out of that game. In that game, you could play two teams.
Two teams.
You could play Arsenal and you could play Real Madrid. You can only play an exhibition match and it could only be for like whatever, like a 5-minute game or whatever. मुझे घंटा पता होता था फुटबॉल का, ठीक है. I didn't even know what was passing. I just knew how to shoot in that game. So मैं हाफ लाइन से शॉट मारूं, कुछ भी करूं. तब धीरे धीरे अपने आप बटन से एक्सपेरिमेंट कर करके पासिंग समझ आया. नो कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ क्रॉसिंग इन माई लाइफ. ओके, ओनली पासिंग एंड शूटिंग. नो आइडिया व्हाट ऑफसाइड वाज. ठीक है.
Oh
एंड
yeah, no.
very naively I would always get frustrated at the game because ये possession साला 100% क्यों नहीं होता है. I never understood what
Mm,
possession was also at that point of time. But you could only play with two teams. Now Real Madrid was in all white, ठीक है, and Arsenal was red and white in that obviously. So I was like कि white white में मज़ा नहीं आ रहा, मैं red वाली टीम से खेलता हूँ. So just kept playing. ठीक है, इस बंदे ने टकले ने गोल मार दिया. Everyone had like no like generic pixelated faces, so it wasn't really a concept of
mm-hmm,
who is a player, you know.
mm,
So
right.
ठीक है, इसने मार दिया, उसने मार दिया. Played with Madrid also. In fact, my favorite player to play on that game was Raul only, which is who was my first favorite striker ever. Because like Raul, मजे आ गए. And so what happened was one day I was probably just waiting or flipping channels for cricket, and I saw some football highlights. And उसमें भी एक रेड टीम खेल रही थी, and उसमें somebody had scored a goal in the highlights. Okay, I don't remember who, but then I was like, ये नाम तो मुझे देखा है मैंने. I've seen this name on the game. ठीक है. And so like I saw कि अच्छा इसके पीछे तो ये लिखा हुआ है, उसके पीछे बर्ग कैंप लिखा हुआ है, ये तो मैंने इससे गोल मारा हुआ है. ठीक है. इस पे तो वियरा whatever, मतलब I saw all these names. And I was like, इस पे तो मैंने पढ़ा हुआ है नाम. So what I did was
Mm-hmm,
I just watched the highlights, and I was like, ये goals मैं game में बनाता हूँ. So my
mm-hmm,
entire thing was I want to recreate these goals in game. ठीक है,
mm,
with the same players. So that's how it started. Ki like my ritual became check highlights, see how they've scored, recreate the goal. So my
mm.
ritual to watch Arsenal was essentially just to recreate the goals in the game. Let me just watch the highlights. And so I just kept tuning into the Arsenal. I got to know ki like Arsene Wenger is some person. I got to know okay these are the players, and then I just couldn't stop watching them. I guess that's essentially what
Damn.
happened. I saw them, I saw them lift the Invincibles trophy. I didn't even understand at that point in time Invincibles कितनी बड़ी बात है. I was like, अच्छा ठीक है जीत गए सभी
उस टाइम पे तो there was no like I could not comprehend कि what all of this means. Like I
yeah
thought कि you know like when you're young ना you don't really understand these
yeah
things. There is no way to do that, and that is why sometimes I do have a little bit of sympathy जो young fans होते हैं. Like कभी कभी मैं when I play try to play football with them, so they're very cocky and everything, and like हाँ चलो ठीक है तू
yeah
बड़ा हो
yeah.
जा फिर बात करेंगे. Then
Yeah,
we'll
but no, I was
understand.
just thinking, bro, like आजकल के football fans are so hyper aware of everything, you know? Like they're so inundated. Like I'm so sure I must have had some like shit opinions about football or like absolutely no clue about football. And now यहाँ पे, you know, like somebody is like, oh, I'm so happy my club has signed this, and किसी ने बोला देख उसका XG under performance कितना है. ठीक है. And you're like, bro, मुझे कोई बोलता है fuck dude, what the hell भाई. I just
मैंने
like,
कुछ दिन पहले एक वीडियो ही बनाया था दैट फुटबॉल फुटबॉल ही है या फिर अब एक साइंस भी है लाइक बिकॉज देयर
yeah,
सो मेनी टैक्टिक्स. मेरे मतलब सम टाइम अगो आई थिंक मैं ना शायद कोमा से उठा हूँगा एंड लोग मेरे को एक्सजी नॉन पेनल्टी एक्सजी
yeah,
पेनल्टी एक्सजी लाइक क्या क्या ये
yeah,
सब कब हुआ?
yeah,
When did
yeah.
this happen? तो आई वाज लाइक कि यार इस पे ना एक वीडियो बनाना चाहिए. तो आई मेड अ वीडियो ऑन दैट कि यार यू नो लाइक फॉल इन लव विद फुटबॉल. लाइक फुटबॉल इज लव. थोड़ा सा योगा
Hmm.
करो, याद करो, रिमेंबर हाउ द ब्राजीलियन टीम यूज्ड टू प्ले. इट्स
Yeah.
जस्ट वाइब्स ऑल द टाइम.
Yeah,
एंड
I call the I also felt this way long time back. I was talking to a friend. I was like, ये फुटबॉल में जो फिजिफिकेशन हो गया ना, कि लाइक अब तुम वाइब्स पे एग्जाम पास नहीं कर सकते. तुम्हें मतलब तुम बेंचर फिटजी पे नहीं गए ना तो भाई, जब तक तुमने लॉग का ये ग्राफ ढंग से नहीं बनाया ब्रो, यू कैन शो अप टू द एग्जाम लाइक अ डे. लाइक ठीक है मैं 75% पेपर करके आ जाऊंगा. फक दिस शिट ब्रो. और वहां पे
मैं
बंदा आपको फिटजी से पढ़ाया हुआ. मेरे फिटजी वाले ने तो मुझे 2 महीने पहले ही करा दिया था. फक ऑफ मैन.
मैं देख रहा था एक बार एक पता नहीं कौन से चैनल पे गया था मैं. वहां पे ना स्प्रेडशीट बनी हुई थी, बहुत बड़ी सी स्प्रेडशीट बनी हुई थी. और मैं उसमें नंबर्स ही नंबर्स लिखे हुए थे एंड छोटे छोटे से लेटर्स लिखे हुए थे. मैंने कहा यार दिस इज यार ये तो मेरे को ट्रॉमा दे रहा है यार, ये तो मेरे को अपने फिजिक्स एग्जाम की याद दिला रहा है.
Yeah.
लाइक क्या अब मैं पढ़ूं कैसे, या देखूं तो कैसे, कैसे समझूं तो समझूं कैसे. बंदा
Yeah.
बोले जा रहा है बोले जा रहा है बोले जा रहा है, मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा. वो उसकी ट्रेन चले जा रही है और मैं बस देखे जा रहा हूँ और मुझे कुछ नहीं समझ में आ रहा, कुछ भी नहीं समझ में आ रहा.
Yeah, but like imagine, right? Like this is, I'll give you two examples for this also. Like, see what's happened at Gyokeres, okay? Why was Sesco my choice? Because I was like, oh, physical specimen ऐसा है, इसके stats ये हैं,
हम्म.
इसकी running speed, leaping speed ये है. Gyokeres, if I was young, I would have been fallen in love with Gyokeres. Like बंदा घूमता है, shot मारता है, गोल हो जाता है, ठीक है?
हाँ,
And
सीधी सी बात है, गोल
है
कितने
ना,
मारे.
गोल कितने मारे भाई बंदे ने, हैं? बंदे
अ,
मारे क्या? बस that's it भाई, striker अपन को वही चाहिए. But like now, if you think about it, like if somebody asks me, like Daksh bhai, what do you think of Ekatike? Like I like Ekatike. Why do you like Ekatike, Daksh bhai? And so you will go into like you can't just say I like the vibes of the player because that guy's like ये क्या येड़ा है भाई इसका unsubscribe करो भाई. Fuck off man. Tell me something about it. What's this progressive carries and shit bhai? Eh? What is this man? I like his vibes है, मुझे बंदा सही लगता है, and they'll call you like one of the emotional content creators. I saw this,
हाँ,
and I was very
I
unhappy.
can
So
understand, I can understand.
I think I saw this on like this was a while back. So I was watching one of Mohawk's video where he was like ranting against a player. ठीक है? And somebody was like, this is why, like Mohawk bhai, I don't agree with your opinions. You're an emotional guy. You don't give stats and reasons. I'm like, if he likes the dude, he said, मेरे को ये बंदा and striker अच्छा लग रहा है. I like the vibes coming from it. It's fine, dude. It is what it is, man. But like अब लोगों को चाहिए कि like, oh, what is his NPXG? What is his Gyokeres ka one of the biggest criticisms is that his short window is very small. Listen, man. ठीक है? I mean, come on, bro. Nobody coaches a player like, listen, man, you gotta reduce your short window by 35%, man. Like, I get advanced stats and they can help you with recruitment and stuff, but I think it's permeating into casual footballing a little bit too much. Like, हाँ, Martinelli का criticism should be कि ये बंदा ऊपर देखता ही नहीं है जब dribble करता है. Not
Oh
like,
yes.
oh, successful take-ons are actually just 38%. Fuck off, man. We're saying
Hmm.
the same fucking thing. भाई ये बंदा नीचे देखता है, भाग ही नहीं पाते बंदे के पास से. So it's all like, oh, successful dribbles, itna take-ons. Yeah, so it is what it is, man.
अब मैं जब फुटबॉल तो मैं बोर्डिंग स्कूल में था एंड बोर्डिंग स्कूल में अगर आपको बुली नहीं होना है तो द ओनली वे टू सॉर्ट दैट सिचुएशन आउट इज कि आप स्पोर्ट्स में घुस जाओ एंड डू वेल. तो मैं बोला मैं ना क्रिकेट खेलने जा रहा था, तो मेरा दोस्त है शुभम हु नाउ लिव्स इन बार्सिलोना एंड अपने बच्चे को बार्सिलोना एकेडमी में भर्ती करवाया उसने. ही वाज लाइक क्या हमारा था जूनियर स्कूल, मिडिल स्कूल एंड देन सीनियर स्कूल. तो मिडिल स्कूल का कैप्टन था वो फुटबॉल का, 8th क्लास तक का. तो वो कहता अबे क्या क्रिकेट खेलने जा रहा है, सब क्रिकेट खेलते हैं, चल तू मेरे साथ चल, मैं तेरे को फुटबॉल खिलाता हूँ, फुटबॉल खेलना सिखाता हूँ. मैंने कहा चलो चलो ठीक है, मैं चलता तेरे साथ. क्योंकि आई वाज न्यू इन द स्कूल, आई वाज लाइक कि जो कह रहा है कर लो. तो गया एंड उसके बाद आई नेवर लुक बैक. सो आई वाज रियली ग्रेटफुल फॉर दैट. तो प्लेइंग स्पोर्ट्स इज लाइक अ बिग लेवलर. एंड मेरे को जब मैं पहली बार मैंने अपने जो क्या कहते हैं उसको HOA होता है फॉर स्पोर्ट्स, मैं उनके पास गया. मैंने बोला सर आई वांट टू बी इन द A टीम ट्रेनिंग. एंड ही सेड या मोर देन वेलकम, आओ. एंड फिर मैं गया, फिर महिपाल सिंह करके एक कोच था एंड वो बहुत गालियां बकता था हमको, लाइक कि अबे तेरे को शूटिंग करना भी मैं सिखाऊं, तेरे को पास करना मैं सिखाऊं, ये करना खुद भी कुछ सीख ले एंड दिस एंड दैट. तो मतलब those were the kind of coaching that we used to get. And at that time we used to get these jargons जहाँ पे हमको बोलते थे राइट हाफ खेलेगा, सेंटर हाफ खेलेगा, लेफ्ट हाफ खेलेगा. मैंने कहा अच्छा. सो I knew right half, center half and left half. I did not know all this central attacking midfielder, left forward, right forward. These were all the old positions. तो हमारा जो कोचिंग सिस्टम था just not very long ago, 20 years ago or something, it was ancient. They still referred to the old positions कि एक बंदा डिफेंडर अकेला खेलेगा. They did not really know what offside was themselves. Like हमारे
Hmm.
जो कोचेस थे और जो रेफरीज थे उनको खुद ही नहीं मालूम था कि यार मैं ऑफसाइड दूं, कि वो मर्जी या मूड पे दे देते कि ऑफसाइड है, ये लाइंसमैन है, नौकरी है
Hmm.
बंदे की, सरकारी नौकरी, कोई बात नहीं, कर लो. तो it was such a strange situation, Indian football में and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
अब it has become like अगर आप गलती से if you are a linesman and आप गलत ऑफसाइड दे दो तो भाई
Hmm.
सब इटालियन बन जाएंगे ऐसे आके, they'll ask,
Hmm.
oh what did I do, what did you, you're not seeing it, this and that. So the game has really changed in a way that I'm happy that it has,
Hmm.
because we can only hopefully just get better um, going forward. And because the youth these days has so many tools at their disposal
Yeah.
to learn, to be able to understand कि भाई गेम एग्जैक्टली है क्या, दे मतलब वो भी तो चाहते हैं कि वी ऑल्सो कम टू अ लेवल कॉम्पिटिशन विद ऑल द अदर कंट्रीज, स्पेशली सबसे पहले साउथ ईस्ट एशियन कंट्रीज में हम थोड़ा सा competitive बने, and
Hmm.
and then we move on from there. Because
Mhm.
if you look at Japan, South Korea, and everybody else, they've just shot off. They're like,
Oh yeah, yeah,
we're
yeah.
aiming for the moon. You guys are still, like fighting amongst the dirt
That's
and all that
kind
stuff.
of sad. I saw this thing. Some what invoice got leaked. Okay, from Chhattisgarh. There was some, I don't know, some seminar must be happening. So they had ordered for the seminar from the public fund some 36 jugs with lid, and they
Mm-hmm.
had charged 51 lakh rupees for 36 jugs. So do you see, like they're obviously invoicing 36 jugs, but they're saying that each jug is worth over a lakh.
True.
तो
Over a lakh.
कॉमनवेल्थ गेम्स वाला स्कैम बता रहे हो ना आप?
Yeah,
कॉमनवेल्थ
no,
गेम्स वाज
this was no
सिमिलर.
last week. This was last week in
अच्छा,
September.
ओ तो हाँ, तो ये तो
So
यार
this is what's happening with football, man. They might be commissioning footballs, but those footballs were probably costing them like 80K on the invoice.
हाँ, तो ये तो चल रहा है. आई मीन अभी मैंने रिसेंटली एक इंडियन फुटबॉल के बारे में एक लाइव स्ट्रीम करी थी
Hmm.
with Football Filler X, and this Just Sports करके गुलशन करके लड़का है. He is in college,
Okay.
young and curious, too
Good.
curious I feel.
Okay.
And I felt कि वो ना नाम देने लग गया
Hmm.
पॉलिटिशियंस वगैरह के. I'm like, स्टॉप, स्टॉप, ठीक है, बाद में बता देना. डोंट टेल मी राइट नाउ. But we know, just
Hmm.
relax, just relax. So we know that the situation is worse than what it looks like. I mean, Instagram वगैरह पे जितने भी बातें होती हैं, it's just like over the top stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
what's going on underneath is completely different.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, थोड़े बहुत और एक दो वो comments और ले लेते हैं,
Sure, sure, sure.
if
I
that's
have
okay.
time. If you want to continue, we can continue. It's all good.
हाँ, perfect, perfect. Yeah, I do want to continue.
Okay.
Dipankar says we need to upgrade our left wing. Don't understand
Hmm.
why Arsenal is not looking for a top left winger who is
True.
certainly an upgrade of Martinelli and Trossard. Are we
Hmm.
not looking for an upgrade? I mean, एक minute. Before you answer this question, Daksh,
Hmm.
I just want to ask, Martinelli मेरे लिए तो अच्छा player है.
Hmm.
Like हाँ, I understand कि उसका सर नीचे रहता है. He could do a lot better. Like the season before this season,
Hmm.
I thought he was a top player.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was doing really well. I thought he was a threat. I thought he had that hunger inside him. But this season, thoda sa, like I think sabhi regress kare hain. Like it's not just Martinelli, it's Odegaard as well.
Hmm.
Um, it's we had injuries also to cope with. We had that ridiculous period at the start of the season where we were getting where Declan Rice got sent off, and then that crazy moment at Bournemouth where Saliba
Saliba, Saliba
back
था.
pass, and then Saliba had to do what Saliba had to do. Like it was a risk, but it was a big risk, and football is about risks.
Hmm.
At some point you're going to be caught unawares, and you have to take care of the situation. So I felt कि यार, I think Martinelli, I still rate him. I like him. He's a
Hmm.
workhorse. He has his moment. Sometimes he doesn't have this moment,
Hmm.
his moment. And I feel कि यार उसके लिए एक अगर उसका दिन नहीं हो रहा है ना, तो उसके लिए एक
Mm-hmm.
बैकअप ले लो, एक
Hmm.
डिसेंट बैकअप ले लो, ताकि थोड़ी सी मतलब थोड़ा सा कुछ चेंज हो सके. लाइक जस्ट हेल्प हिम
Hmm.
आउट. लाइक उसको बाहर मत करो. हेल्प
Hmm.
द गाय आउट.
Okay. See, my thing with I love Martinelli, the guy as well, man. Um, but it's very obvious when you match up our front line with the teams we're competing against in all sorts of competitions. It's not measuring up quite well. Like, I think we have a little bit of romanticism in us that the guys who got us here should be the guys who see us through. But it's very obvious
Mm,
that it's just not happening. Like, if you look at, for example, the Champions League last four as well, right? We had, like, on one side, Barcelona had Rafinha, Lamine. PSG has Barcola, Kvaratskhelia, Due, interplay a different system, but they have like Lautaro up front and Marcus Thuram up front, and we were we were playing with Merino up top, but we still had Saka, who's great. The other part of that front three is Martinelli, and when he had one moment to absolutely justify his selection or be a very big difference maker, he couldn't beat Donnarumma. I'm not
mm,
saying he needs to beat every keeper every time as soon as he gets the chance as well. But if our aim is now to compete against that Liverpool front line with Salah, Wirtz, Ekitike, Nunes, Diaz, Gakpo, or if it's that Man City front line with Haaland, Foden, Doku, Savio, whoever that might be, or Chelsea
mm.
for that matter with Palmer and who else, João Pedro now, and whoever plays left wing for them, we have to be much better than them. We have to be much better than them. Um, because we're not competing to just sneak into top four now. It's and Martinelli was good for that one Jesus wala season and जब Xhaka उसके साथ combine करता था. But he's kind of hit the wall now.
Right.
So it's up to him. I understand we sometimes don't give him the support he needs on that left hand side. But listen, man, I think we are. It's too luxury a player then if you're not able to change your own play style, change your own impact on a game, and you require outside support as well. Like for example, Saka ko you can put in any situation, right? Double
Mm,
team, triple team, running, playmaking, crossing, shooting, in the box, cutting inside, combining with Odegaard, combining with Rice. नहीं है राइस कोई बात नहीं काउंटर भी कर लूंगा मैं जब हैवर्ट्स लंबी बॉल डालेगा लिवरपूल के अगेंस्ट ही कैन डू अ लॉट एंड आई रिलाई ऑन Saka a lot more, right? Like that, right? But if you're a player who like मैं तभी चलूंगा अगर लेफ्ट हैंड साइड भी एक ओवरलैपिंग विंगर दे दो और एक मिडफील्डर जो अब मेरी साइड आएगा उसके साथ बैक एंड फोर्थ 1 and 2 करके हो सकता है. Maybe is that sort of player, but we don't need that sort of player. We need a guy who right now can run the left hand channel by himself. So he's perfectly serviceable, but I don't think we need serviceable right now. We need somebody who's a superstar. We need essentially
right.
superstars in every position. Serviceable to yeah, before Declan Rice also like Xhaka was fine and Partey was okay and Elneny भी serviceable ही था. But वो Declan Rice आया तो दिखा ना मतलब eventually कि like oh this guy
Mm,
dropping 8 on 10s no matter what भाई ये गोल भी मार रहा है assist भी मार रहा है free kick भी मार रहा है defend भी कर रहा है आगे भी भाग रहा है पीछे भी भाग रहा है सभी कर रही है बंदा तो वो ये भी possible है. And I think
that is
वो
true.
you need a Declan Rice, right? Serviceable तो you had the David Luiz and the Pablo Mari and the Socrates also serviceable. Like हाँ कभी कभी they'll make those bozo mistakes. But अभी वो बॉल ऊपर
Yeah.
जाती है और सलीबा उसकी तरफ भागे भागे आते और like चल खत्म. It's over.
Mm,
That's sorted now. अब like वही बात है ना कि अभी क्या सिचुएशन है when you are faced with a forward from an opposition team and you're like oh मुश्किल गेम होगा but सलीबा गैब्रियल संभाल लेंगे. You're not scared कि like oh Lautaro आ गया Haaland आ गया
mhm.
Haaland
Oh
जैसा
yeah.
striker like Haaland's going to be complicated but I think Saliba Gabriel संभाल लेंगे है ना.
Mm,
You need that sort of confidence in your forwards now. You're like oh shit that defender is really cool huh. Like Kukurea will be like Kukurea is on fantastic form now but वो साका के against आएगा I'll be like मुश्किल होगा Kukurea को beat करना but I trust साका. अभी वो लेफ्ट हैंड
mm.
साइड पे भी चाहिए. You have to be like मुश्किल गेम है that defense this low block that keeper whatever but ये left winger
Got it.
संभाल लेगा. You need that sort of it. That's essentially it, man. Everyone can be serviceable. You can make it work with everyone, but you need that next level of support. Ki like, nah, this guy has it. This guy has my back. This guy will make sure we don't lose the game.
Hmm. That I think that makes a lot of sense because हाँ वही है just like you said romanticism है And I guess I'm that kind of Arsenal fan जिसको
Everyone
लगता है कि यार
is.
uh, हमारे प्लेयर्स ने जितनी मेहनत करी है जस्ट टू लाइक पुश अस टू दैट लेवल,
Yeah.
लाइक थोड़ा सा उनको क्रेडिट मिलना चाहिए।
Mm-hmm.
याका के लिए भी मेरे को यही लगता था कि यार याका को रहना चाहिए, एंड याका
Mm.
ऑल्सो लाइक डिजर्व्स, अगर हम जीते तो याका ऑल्सो शुड डिजर्व अ लिटिल बिट
Yeah.
ऑफ दैट, क्योंकि यू नो लाइक वही है ना, क्लब से जुड़े रहते हैं, लाइक वंस अ गनर ऑलवेज अ गनर, दैट काइंड ऑफ अ
Mm.
थिंग।
Yeah, no, no, I completely understand, bro. But are we were playing a different game against some really top teams, bro.
हाँ, the levels have changed completely, and
So, मैं क्या
the
बोलूं,
kind
like,
of
yeah, you've seen Liverpool with those fantastic teams just lose out on titles with like 1 or 2 points, 95 plus points.
mm,
Okay, it's just different levels to this game. Unfortunately, we're chasing Liverpool. Liverpool lost like when the title got wrapped up anyway, but they just lost like one
mm,
game. One game. That is what you're trying to achieve here, man. You're only allowed to slip up once. उसके ज़्यादा हो गया, you're trailing already. This start we have, unfortunately for us, we're unlucky we have this sort of start, but करना पड़ेगा, bro, because you lose 3 out of the first 5.
Get out.
You not even like lose, drop points also. Already
हाँ,
lagging.
then तो it's
And it's out of your hands
as
already. It's
बचाने
out of
वाला
your
टाइम
hands
है फिर
already.
तो। फिर
Yeah. So,
तो
yeah.
बचाओ अपने आप को किसी तरह से, सर्वाइवल मोड है।
Yeah, man.
अच्छा, एक और अपना सा सवाल ले लेते हैं जो मैंने बनाया था, एक सेकंड मैं बस ढूंढ रहा हूँ कहाँ पे है। अम, अ, ट- 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 हाँ, I mean, this is a silly question. Maybe you might feel this is a silly question, but
Okay.
did Arsenal actually miss their best chance to win the league already?
Yeah. We missed it
Yes,
twice. Twice we missed it.
last
First time we
season and last to last season. नहीं नहीं, not last season. Sorry.
नहीं, I think 22,
Uh,
22, 23 में
हाँ
जहाँ हम लोग ऊपर
हाँ
थे,
हाँ,
वो
अगर
sorry
Jesus
sorry.
fielding
वाला season was the
Saliba
first
got injured.
first chance was the real chance that we missed because Jesus went down, so we had Enketia. Um, in
Saliba.
that,
Yeah.
and then Saliba and Tomiyasu went down, and we had to rely on Rob Holding. That was, I think, the first. That was the first time I think we had a genuine, because before that we finished fifth. Nobody expected us to keep on going the way we started. We had like 51 में से 49 points or something like that.
Correct.
We only, I think we drew something with United, maybe. I don't
We
know.
lost to United. Rashford वाला वो Anthony आके
हाँ,
and
yeah, yeah,
Rashford.
yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
3-2. वही lost. That was the only loss.
That was
बाकी
the
सब
only one. Yeah, so maybe 48 out of 51, something like that. But we had a fantastic start. Then the bloody first in ever World Cup mid-season happened, and our striker blew his ACL. Um, so that's it. And I think uske baad, the season after, I think we were great. I just think City were greater.
Hmm.
That's it.
Oh yeah, City.
That's essentially it. We had the difference between us and City was just one Aston Villa game and one
Yeah.
Son finish. Son finishes it, कुछ भी हो जाता. But yeah, I think we had in a different universe, in a different reality, we probably win 3 titles, but or 2 titles. But it is
What
what
a
it is,
मतलब
man.
what a thing to say ना, in a different universe we won 2 titles. सबका
Yeah,
मुंह बंद हो जाता है अभी, लाइक कोई कुछ नहीं बोलने लायक रहता है, लाइक it would have all been done, it would have been, we would
yeah,
have
but
been there,
you can say
the
this with
promised
so
land.
many. You can say this with so many instances, though, right? Like Liverpool probably deserved more titles under Klopp. They were
Hmm.
great.
Mm,
Just
Yeah.
Pep was greater. That City was greater. Um, and yeah, this is the reality, man. There will always be a mitigating circumstance. That's what I've realized. Either
mm,
you will get the curse of injuries, fair. So you can say, oh, that's why we didn't lose. Somebody's gonna have a record-breaking season, like City treble जीत गई थी उस season. Haaland के आने के बाद Haaland broke all Prem records and banging in
Hmm.
hat tricks, and Foden had a career year as well,
mm,
for the player of the
yeah.
year. So
Rodri.
again, yeah, Rodri's impact was insane. So we were great, City were greater, and that's it. So we missed our best chance of winning the title. Now, the teams who had been either stagnating, like Klopp's Liverpool had Fabinho and Henderson. They weren't growing as much. City wali team में still भी passion था, so we were essentially competing with one top team. Chelsea had their own turmoils. United were fluctuating up and down, and Spurs also, I think, were in this constant managerial change with Mourinho, Nuno, Stellini, and then Conte and Stellini, and then
Mm.
Ange eventually. So whatever, they had their own flux, and the mid-table teams weren't as strong either. Um, अब तो मतलब they have all of them have like caliber of players that can play for Real Madrid also, like in terms of housing. So now we are in probably the most competitive space. एक title होता, things would have been simpler, things would have been chiller, but
Mm.
it is what it is, man. आपको look, all it takes is one season, man. एक last season Liverpool ने एक signing नहीं करी, उनको regular amount of injuries हुई, and Salah का had a PL record breaking season. बस जीत गए. That's it. Just Gravenberch, just Salah. कुछ moments में Nunes, कुछ moments में Jota, कुछ moments में Diaz, कुछ moments में Gakpo, कभी Soboslai, कभी McAllister. बाकी सब चिप कर रहे हैं. एक बंदे का career season हो गया. That's it. You win the league, man. Everyone else is not as good. वही, that's the part and parcel of this whole thing, man. We have to take our chances. We have to come to our best, minimize our losses, maximize our wins. That's it. वही वाली बात है. So many moments भाई when Liverpool were on the brink of losing and वो कुछ करके निकाल लेते थे. That's it. Konate went down तो चलो भाई somebody stepped up. Trent went down तो चलो somebody else stepped up. Bradley had his tragedies, चलो somebody else stepped up. But
Mm.
Salah was always stepping up, and yeah, but that's the long and short, man. So yeah, there is nothing fair in football, but most of the time it's a good reality check of who deserves to win and who doesn't deserve to win. Maybe we were unlucky, in probably truly unlucky in just the 20 to 23 season. Everything else, we just came up against somebody better than us. You just have to say it.
Well said.
It is heartbreaking in a way because मेरे को अभी भी याद है मैंने अपना पहला YouTube वीडियो बनाया था रैंडमली बैंडी कैम्प पे रिकॉर्ड किया था when Arsenal was Arsenal was at Old Trafford and we were on this 12 game 13 game winning streak at the start of the season and then we had gone to Old Trafford and Anthony का I think पहला game था for Manchester United and we
Goal.
lost 3-1 से
Yeah.
हार गए थे हम एंड वो मेरा पहला यूट्यूब वीडियो था अभी वो है कहीं आर्काइव्स में रखा हुआ है बट आई फेल्ट वो सीजन आर्सेनल वो प्लेइंग सो गुड लाइक एवरी सिंगल गेम यू आर गेटिंग द रिजल्ट्स लाइक द जहाँ पे हम ड्रॉ करते थे वहां हम जीत रहे थे अवे गेम्स जहाँ पे हम ड्रॉ करते थे वहां हम जीत रहे थे मतलब हर एक गेम पे हम वी वर पुटिंग आवर फुट डाउन एंड बी लाइक एंड फिर पता नहीं बस लाइक लास्ट में जाके एंड
I
आई
think the
फील यार
build up
I
सही
have
था.
to say with Arsenal, Arsenal के साथ मेरा हमेशा यही है कि यार I think obviously rival fans so they try to get under our skin and they say all kinds of stuff to do that. But I feel that Arsenal is one of those clubs that don't deserve we've never won a Champions League. That we win trophies once every 5 years or something like that. And I feel that Arsenal deserve better. Like we're a well-run club. We're a good club. We made the right decisions at the right times. We made the right decision to move from Highbury to the Emirates Stadium at the right time. We had the right manager to see us through during that period. And
Yeah.
जो भी players थे उस time पे, they gave it all for Arsenal. Fabregas था, Nasri था. I remember they
Ashrav.
used to play so well. They were Arshavin tha. Like they all had their moments for Arsenal. Even Lord Bentner gave it his all for Arsenal Football Club. And
Yeah.
I have tremendous respect for all of them because चाहे कुछ भी कह लो आर्सेनल के बारे में हमारे प्लेयर्स हमेशा हमारे बैच के लिए खेले एंड आजकल का टाइम इज लाइक a different kind of a time and I'm glad that now we don't have to make any kind of transition. We've already made our transition. We've already seen us through it. And I feel that now we need to start, थोड़ा सा हमको थोड़ा सा, like pray a little, give us a little bit of luck, Lord, please.
I think
I
we'll win
just feel we're
something
in
this
that moment.
season. I don't know if it'll be the league or the Champions League. I think we'll win something this season
Something
because
this season. Yeah.
I think at some level it's a game of like probability also. Like yeah, you can fall onto like that United game in the FA Cup last season.
Mm.
Absolutely shambolic, right? Like in terms of like how did we not score in that game? It's kind of like a mystery to me. But if you
Mm.
keep doing the good things over and over again, and if you have a competitive squad and a competent squad more than competitive also,
Mm.
it'll eventually fall into place. The problem is cups are the worst thing to bet consistency on. Cups are the most surprising. You will have
Mhm.
uh, United versus City final, and United will walk away with it. You will have a Palace versus City final, Palace will walk away with it. You will have a Liverpool versus Newcastle final, Newcastle will walk. That becomes like a very momentary thing. My fear when it comes to domestic cups or any sort of cup competitions is that we've not had enough trips to finals to have those on this day I am the one, on this day I am going to deliver, like I'll be there. वही वही मुझे एक बहुत बड़ा इशू लगता है. Like for example, if I compare it with Chelsea, I think personally our squad is built much better than Chelsea. It's cheaper, it's much more efficient, and I think in terms of quality all over the pitch, I think we're better than them. But
Mm.
if it comes to a FA Cup or a Carabao Cup final between Arsenal and Chelsea, I'll be shitting my pants. Not only because they're a good team, but they've just been in so many finals. Every time they're
Mm.
just in a final. Under Poch, they were in a final. Under Maresca, they've been in two finals and decent finals. By Betis wasn't, yeah, like it's Conference League, but Betis took the lead and they had to make a comeback, right? Against PSG, fantastic. Against Liverpool, they lost the final, but it's bloody Liverpool. And again, that was the first time I think this project was in a final. So they crumbled then or whatever. They weren't up for it on the day. And same with
Right.
Liverpool. Liverpool's been in so many finals. City's been in so many finals. It's for them. It's a settled mental state that they can be in. We haven't. Our finals are community shields, which I don't know if the players take seriously themselves or not, for that matter. But this club hasn't been in a final for 5 years, which is a big, 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 big worry. This
I
should
think
have
it is.
been
Yeah.
by this time. I wouldn't have cared. Like, yeah, I mean, it would have hurt if we lost like a couple of finals, but at least we knew, ki, like, okay, this is like the build up to the final. This is the mental conditioning during the final. This is how players deal with adversity during the final and stuff. Abhi, it's just all huju bhuju. Like, some players will be completely up for it. Like, Gabriel will be mentally up for it. Declan will be mentally up for it.
Mhm.
Saka might be
Mm.
mentally up for it. Kai might be mentally up for it. But that's just like probably four players you can count. अब बाकी सबका आई डोंट नो लाइक या यू कैन से नहीं नहीं माइल्स ऐसा है बट आई डोंट नो व्हाट माइल्स मेंटल स्टेट विल बी or Tross or Martinelli or any of the midfielders who come in or whoever Zubimendi in this scenario or Timber. So Timber I think is a fine dude, but what about White, what about Raya? वो प्रेशर यार, जैसे वो होता है ना पेनल्टी शूटआउट्स में तुम्हारे कीपर को भी पता है और तुम्हारे पेनल्टी शूटर्स को भी पता है कैसे झेलना है when you are
Right.
up or you're down and
Mm.
it's equal or it's sudden death or whatever. वो एक बार एक्सपीरियंस आ जाता तो बेटर. तो आई थिंक आई हैव अ call it a gut feeling or just delusion, I don't know, but I have a gut feeling we'll win something. I genuinely feel it won't be the league, and I genuinely don't feel it'll be the Champions League. I feel it'll be one of the domestic cups, and yeah, I think that's gonna be like it's gonna be something we'll build on. It's not the culmination of it, but I think it's gonna bring a much needed relief to the fan base. But don't expect the trolling and all to stop. Liverpool got trolled after winning the bloody league, man. So if they can get trolled
नहीं
by,
नहीं वो तो आई नो दैट्स गोना
yeah, yeah,
हैपन दैट्स गोना हैपन
like
मैं तो
that's not
आई विल बी
gonna
वेरी
stop.
ऑनेस्ट विद यू मैं रिसेंटली अभी ट्विटर पे ज्वाइन किया है
Yeah,
मेरे को
don't
सुजीत
man,
ने
get
बोला
out
कि
when you can. Get out while you can, man. Come.
uh, हाँ नहीं उसने मेरे को बोला अरे start building your presence and he also told me I'm warning you but now that you're here and I just downloaded a Twitter app I never ever used Twitter मैं
Yeah,
तो भूल गया था Twitter
yeah.
I don't care Twitter and this and that I don't know how to use it
Hmm.
and मैं बस I'm just keeping a very limited presence over there like कि हाँ
Hmm.
थोड़ा सा इधर उधर बस that's it बाकी
Hmm.
अपना usually I just like YouTube man YouTube is good you put your face you put a face to your voice you speak your mind if somebody has a problem with it they can just let you know but I feel that this is much better space than Twitter
Yeah.
at least
Okay. Yeah. I.
एक
Yeah. Twitter. I don't
एक
think it's
क्वेश्चन
worth
और
it.
था
Hmm.
I think chat भी थोड़ा सा antsy हो रहा है, and I think this is the most obvious question that we had to ask you.
Oh God.
It's going to be announced in a couple of. It's nothing. It's nothing like that. It's just adding a
Surprise.
question. था Victor Gyokeres, what are your thoughts on him?
Addy?
नहीं, आई मेरा सवाल था आपके लिए था
Oh,
भाई.
acha. I was like, oh, you're waiting for him.
नहीं नहीं
Oh,
नहीं नहीं,
okay, okay.
ये सवाल
Oh,
आया. I wanted to hear what your two cents on him.
okay. Without any copium, I think it's a very good signing that we're making. He will still not be my number one choice. I'll still stick by him. That he is a player that brings something that we don't have, which is a hunger for goals. He will never give up scoring. He will never give up trying. That's all good. That's all fine when it comes to the emotional parts of the game, the mental aspects of the game. But the reason I was always for Sesko was that physically he's a specimen, for a lack of a better term. You can't coach height, you can't coach timing of jumping, you can't coach. He was very raw though. He was very raw though. If we had to choose somebody else over Gyokeres, I would have preferred somebody who gives us a much, much better chance of winning the title. What I'm getting with Gyokeres is somebody who's on much, much better chance of scoring a goal. But I still don't think he's the guy who's gonna be like लाइन के ऊपर मैं इस बंदे को ले जाता हूँ. आई एम हाइप्ड फॉर दिस गाय. आई विल बी द हैप्पीएस्ट इफ ही प्रूव्स मी रॉन्ग एंड ही विंस अस द टाइटल एंड एवरीथिंग. ठीक है. बट here's the thing on Gyökeres. Positives, he is the most hungriest in our squad for goals. He is a better goal scorer than Trossard, Havertz, Saka, Martinelli, Rice,
Absolutely.
anyone, everyone combined. The guy is just singularly tunnel focused on I want to score, I want to score, I want to score, I want to score, I want to score. Okay? But there are things about him which I see, and I'm like, okay, if he tries this against Van Dijk, will he be able to replicate it? Okay, maybe not. Okay. If he tries this against Tarkowski, if he tries to physically bully Tarkowski, will he be able to do it or not? Maybe not.
Mm.
For me, the only thing about Sesko was there are so many things about him that you can coach and make him a more complete player. But there are so many things natural to him that no coach in the world will ever be able to inculcate in any other striker. Like, if you look at Isak, his nimbleness, his ability to combine, and his shot is insane. Yeah, do you remember the goals he scored against us? Oh my
Oh,
god, bhai.
Mm.
beauty.
It's just insane, yeah. Like, the guy is just a monster, yeah. Like, Isak is insane. You can't coach that. That sense of smell of goal, जो Gyökeres के पास भी है, जो Isak के पास भी है, वो भी है. But वो जो finesse Isak के पास है, you can't coach it. It's something he's naturally picked up all throughout his life. Similarly, हम लोग जो कहते हैं कि लाइक एक बंदा कितना तेज भागता है, समटाइम्स इट्स जेनेटिक, समटाइम्स इट्स योर आई डोंट नो योर निम्बलनेस, योर एजिलिटी, हाउ यू ट्रेन्ड योरसेल्फ थ्रू आउट योर लाइफ. एक पॉइंट के बाद एक कैप हो जाता है फिजिकली. वो कैप
Right.
इज लाइक द लेब्रॉन जेम्स इन व्हाट एनबीए इज. एनबीए में लेब्रॉन
Mm.
जेम्स को कहते हैं लाइक ही वाज प्रॉब्ली जस्ट प्रोड्यूस्ड इन अ लैम्प बिकॉज द गाय इज टॉल, द गाय इज फास्ट, द गाय इज स्ट्रांग, द गाय इज फिनेस्ड, ही
Oh
इज
yeah.
एवरीथिंग.
Very true. He's
And
everything.
if you have all these raw ingredients ना, like सारे मसाले हैं तुम्हारे पास, there's a very good chance, there's a chance you might bust also, but there's almost a guaranteed chance you'll be one of the greats of the game. Like, now there's somebody called Victor Wembanyama. He's a 7'4" thin guy, tall as fuck, but he moves like
Mm.
somebody who's like got like a 6'3" player ki center of gravity. So nimble, so
Mm.
skillful. Usually you think ki like tall, lanky fellows gonna be stiff and shit. ठीक है?
Mm.
But physically that guy is beyond. But despite all of this, despite all my fascination with Sesko, somebody who has a point to prove ना usually will break through a wall. मेरे हिसाब से, like Martinelli का हमने क्या बोला था, he is stuck at a wall. He can't go beyond it. He can't climb over it. उसका same ही issues हर game में दिखते हैं. एंड वो उतना रिलायबल
Mm-hmm.
नहीं है, ठीक है. उसके बाद इफ यू लुक एट विक्टर ग्योकरेस फॉर दैट मैटर, द गाय नंबर वन wants to join us badly. Like he's making everything happen. He's making agents forgo money. He's giving up some salary. He wants this. He wanted the Sporting move from Coventry. He got it. He absolutely smashed it at Coventry. Sorry, at Sporting.
Right.
Okay. In the Portuguese league, your goal factors are 1.5 times, in the sense that if you score if you score 3 goals, it will count as 2. It's
Mm.
divided by a factor of 1.5, because it's an easier league apparently. Whereas in England it's 1:1, in France it's 1:1, in Italy it's 1:1. But if you do it in, like, say, Denmark, it's probably like a factor of 2 or whatever. तो आप अगर 80
Okay.
गोल्स मारोगे, 40 ही काउंट होते हैं यूरोपियन गोल्डन बूट में. In Portugal it's 1.5 times the factor. This guy lost the European golden boot on the last day
To Mbappe.
to Mbappe, when he was also injured with a knee injury for like a few games. Do you understand how insane he is? I understand the league might be easy and stuff, but his goals were counting for less. There was a debuff on his goals. His one goal wasn't counting as
I
one goal.
never knew that.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it's a factor of 1.5. So his one goal wasn't one goal. His 2 goals weren't 2 goals. His 3 goals were counting as 2 goals. His 6 goals were counting as 3 goals.
3 goals.
Yeah. And he, despite that debuff, he lost it on the last of the European Golden Boot race. If it was a fair,
Damn.
flat 1:1, he smoked
You have to.
everyone in terms of goal scoring. Smoked everyone in terms of goal scoring. And listen, I don't care if his league form translates or those goals translates, even if they translate 40%, bhai, whatever. And look, I'm one of the biggest reasons I'm convinced of Gyokeres is that I also held the belief that Sesko fits her system better. But then you have to ask the fundamental question, is that system was supposed to be the one we follow again? It's not a good system, let's be honest. It limits everyone. It's too mechanical. It cost us 13 draws. Even if मैं कहता हूँ injuries नहीं होती, 13 के 4 draws हो जाते, still wouldn't have been enough, by the way, to win a league and stuff. So, one, yes, Sesko would have fit in that system better, but do we really need that system at all, for that matter? Which is why I also sort of, like, I'm not in favor of the money we paid for Noni Madueke also. But does Noni Madueke bring something which is completely breaking the previous system and getting us traits? Yeah, if Victor Gyokeres and Noni Madueke can force us to change our system, make us operate with a lot more freedom, make us a more lethal attacking option, fair enough, bhai. So, if you are rallying behind Madueke, you have to rally behind Gyokeres. If you're rallying behind Gyokeres, you have to rally behind Madueke. You have to rally behind Eze or Rodrigo, whoever we get, bhai. Because there's a very common element in all of these things. They want us, and they want us badly. Madueke left a final. Whether it's good of him or stupid of him, only time will tell. But he did. He said, fuck, I'm out. I'm going to go to this club. I'm going to take my holidays. I'm going to go to this club. The same with Victor Gyokeres. My only thing is that, yes, we make all these emotional arguments. Oh, he wants us. Oh, he wants it really, really bad. Football sometimes won't respect emotions. Listen, man, if you unfortunately are going to get crowded out by Ethan Pinnock and Nathan Collins, kitna bhi chao, you're not going to jump higher than them. You're not going to outmuscle them. You're not going to get a shot off them in front of them. So I really, really hope that his determination is the thing that sees us through. I'm happy with him because I think for the first time in the last 7 years, we have finally found somebody, in my opinion, who is as ambitious as Arteta on winning a game single-handedly. Not saying nobody wants to compete. Saka also wants to compete. Kai also wants to compete. Declan also wants to compete. And they all want to win also. Everyone wants to win also. बट जिस लेवल ऑफ ऑब्सेशन से गोल मारना है, गेम जिताना है, सब कुछ टर्न अराउंड करना है, वो जो पोटेंशियल है इस बंदे का टू स्ट्राइक फियर इनटू ऑपोजिशन, वी हैव नॉट हैड सिंस ऑनरी. आई विल बी ऑनेस्ट. ऑनरी से जब से हमने कोई भी स्ट्राइकर लिया है, मे बी अलेक्सिस होता था But
Mm.
Alexis was like such a different energy from everyone else in the club. Bellerin, do you remember that Bellerin interview where we was like, oh,
Yes.
sometimes you ask Alexis, like, why you so intense all the time, bro? Yeah, like probably Mikel since captain. Yeah, RVP is a good shot, yeah, Vivek. Probably since Mikel being a captain, probably since RVP being that ruthless, we've not had somebody bhai who can strike that sort of fear in the opposition. Haven't. Like good
Hmm.
striker will score a goal. अरे यार dangerous striker है. But वो हालैंड, वो साला कि इस बंदे को 1v1 छोड़ दिया ना, गुड नाइट टाटा बाय बाय. वो नहीं है. काय हैवर्ट्स को 1v1 देखते हो, मैं कुछ ज्यादा नर्वस हो जाता हूँ rather than the opposition goalkeeper man. And I love Kai Havertz, but he doesn't strike. He strikes fear into me,
Hmm.
not the goalkeeper
Yeah, I
man.
know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Like I ain't
Uh,
ever sure कि Havertz is gonna finish a 1v1. But if this guy goes 1v1, I'm like, I'm out of my seat. I'm just ready to like bring my
exactly.
to my face.
Yeah,
When you
it's
go,
same, but
I saw one of your stories when you went to watch a game abhi recently. I think I
Yeah.
don't know what game that was, but you went to watch a football game.
Yeah.
मैं भी नेदरलैंड्स गया हूँ वहाँ पे मैंने एडिटिवीसी का एक रेलिगेशन बैटल एक प्ले ऑफ देखा था in 2006. It
Hmm.
was between SBV Excelsior
Excelsior.
and RBC Roosendaal.
Okay.
तो जैसे ही when you see a winger or something going on, you get excited. You jump out of
Yeah.
your seat
Yeah.
and like seats वो खड़ी होनी शुरू होती है आवाज
Yeah.
that atmosphere is different. It's crazy. And with Kai Havertz now, like when I'm doing a watch along and
Hmm.
something like that, I'm just like sitting like ऐसे पालती मार के आराम से
Hmm.
ऐसे Kai Havertz पर no worries देखते हैं क्या होता है गोल मार दिया yes very well done
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
वही है ना वो feel नहीं आती but when Victor Gyokeres is going to go
Yeah.
when
You're like,
Saka
chal,
is through
chal, chal,
somebody
chal.
else is through they'll be like
That's it.
ooh,
Just get ready.
ooh. एक बार
Just
तो
get
मैंने अपनी
ready.
कुर्सी तोड़ दी थी इनफैक्ट ये जो मेरी चेयर है मैं विवेक भाई की वॉच अलोंग में था
हाँ.
पीएसजी वर्सेस आर्सेनल में
Hmm.
एंड द लेफ्ट हैंड वाला जो हैंडल है ठीक है राइट हैंड वाला हैंडल में आई वाज लाइक ऐसे खड़ा हुआ मैं एकदम से राइट हैंडल टूट गया like oh my god score
Yeah.
so that is the difference वही था like like when Kai Havertz is one on one even when I remember when he scored against Manchester City वो जो 5-1
Hmm.
हम जीते थे तो किसने पास किया था उसको राइट हैंड साइड में ऐसा this is
Hmm.
the bad pass
Martinelli,
you should not have
Martinelli का
made
pass
this
था,
pass
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
should have
Martinelli
gone on your own
हाँ
you
हाँ
made the wrong decision but then Havertz finished it and I was like चलो ठीक है fine fantastic but I still feel Havertz still has something to offer
Oh
on his
yeah.
own ability. He's not a
Bro,
finisher.
have you seen how buff he's gotten?
oh yes
Oh
those
yeah.
Bro,
that
have
idea
you seen how buff he's gotten?
I think वो राधे भैया बन गया है from that तेरे नाम वाला movie.
Oh man.
He
Now
has a
he's
point
like
to
एक
prove.
बार मेरे को इतना इंजरी हो गया never again bro. He's like अब को मैं इंजर करेगा. He's like Joelinton come back bro. आते हैं बात करते हैं. Yes. He I
I'm
remember there was this
uh,
sorry there's this podcast of Jorginho, like Jorginho's like, listen, you look at Kai Havertz, you think he's not strong, or you think he doesn't care, but he cares also, and he's deceptively strong. Now he's like physically also like super duper strong, huh? So yeah, no, I'm very
yeah
excited to see what
that's gonna
happens
be
to
scary.
Havertz.
a lot of reports also saying that Gabriel Heinze ka bhi recruitment had a say in all of them. He's pushing the players a lot
Bro,
more.
Heinz is like proper dictator, man. I'm telling you,
He's
bro.
an
Listen,
Argentinian
listen.
blood.
If you're an Argentinian with your last name as Heinze, man, I'll be scared, bro. ठीक है?
2010
Like,
World
listen,
Cup,
man.
World पैर तोड़ वाला tackles for United at left back. Oh my god, yes.
Oh man,
अच्छा
Gabriel Heinz.
थोड़े से
Yeah.
comments लेता हूँ फटाफट से we'll just answer them very quickly ठीक है
Hmm.
Julian says, what predictions do you guys have for Chelsea in the coming season? Is top four on for them? I think yes. We can
Oh
agree.
yeah.
Top
Easy,
four is
easy,
Anything less
definitely
bro.
than
on.
that will be a disaster season for them. Coming off the high of
Disaster season for
quality and
them.
I
everything.
genuinely think they should be challenging
They
for
should
the
be title
title, man.
contenders. Gee.
Like,
Hmm.
I don't understand when is it like, oh, we're like, oh, actually, Chelsea can be title challengers. Like, they have depth, they have experience, they're a good manager as well, and a pretty beefy
Yeah.
squad. Man. Oof. So I don't know, man. I think like honestly, top four should be on. I genuinely expect them ki like they should be challenging for the title. They should be that fourth horse now, challenging for the title.
Title.
The good old top four is back again, you could
Yeah, yeah,
say.
yeah.
United.
Uh, ex- oh, sorry, I forgot. I almost forgot about Manchester United. Apologies, guys. Apologies. Mr. Triple Seven says, "Oh, sorry, Mr. Triple Seven is a Manchester United fan. He
Hmm.
says Benjamin Sesko is open to a
Yeah,
Man United move
I just
despite
saw
no
this.
European football United. Is it
Yeah, yeah, I
Sam
just
C
saw this.
reports?
Samsi. And Samsi is pretty reliable as well. I'm telling you, man, his agents screwed him out of a deal. And
Seriously.
Hmm.
now they're gonna rush. Because listen, Liverpool have Ekitike. We have Gyokeres. Chelsea have I
Joe
don't know who
Pedro.
Chelsea have,
Bella.
but they have somebody and a lot of people actually. Joao Pedro. Right? City don't need Sesko.
Delap and yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, Delap as well. United is a pretty good option because either he's gonna wait one more year and see if Barca ka move works out for him. ठीक है? Otherwise, bhai, Benjamin Sesko is actually stuck at Leipzig if you think about it. He signed an extension last season when we were in for him to preserve his
Mm.
value. We tried to get him.
Mm.
Leipzig put like some weird fucking demands of like 83 plus 7. They're like, nahi, nahi,
Right.
let's play some sort of chicken game with them. Like, fuck off. Okay, fine.
Mm.
We went for Gyökeres, much cheaper deal. And now his agents have probably realized, like, oh fuck. Like,
Yeah.
अपन को निकलना था यहाँ से, but there's absolutely nobody else left. And I think I don't, and I again, it's going to be a good signing. I'm a huge fan of Benjamin Sesko. But I'll be very interested to see what price they get Sesko for. Because if they
Hmm.
sell him for cheap, brother,
Mm.
he has his own agents to blame for robbing him of a Champions League move. Okay? I again, it'll be a good signing for United, but this will probably make Hoyland or Zirkzee में से एक has to go, man. They can't have Xerxes,
Oh,
Hoyland,
100%.
Sesko, Cunha, Mbomo for three forward positions, considering the fact Chido also left us for them. So
Correct.
I can't even imagine what's his pecking order. He left for us because pathway and all. Now there's a 21-year-old striker in Sesko if they get him. There's Cunha
Mm.
who's peak age. There's Mbomo who's 25 years old. There's Xerxes who's young. There's Hoyland who's young.
Right.
So, I mean, fair enough. Whatever price you go for him for now, fair enough. But I honestly think his agents have screwed him pretty badly. He wanted Champions League. लाइप्जिग के साथ नहीं मिल रहा था उसको. So he wanted Champions League. उसने बोला अपन लोग agitate wagitate नहीं करेंगे. We ain't gonna push the club. We'll do it in a nice, respectful manner. We want a nice project for us. Fair enough.
Right.
If you feel that's Manchester United for you, good luck to you, man. But I'd be very interested to see what's the finances on this because we got quoted 83 plus 7.
Correct.
And I don't think United have 83 plus 7.
Mhm.
I don't think United will pay even also 70, 80 million. If United pays 70 million for him and 62 million for Cunha and 70 million ish or 65 million for Mbomo, again, great players to have in your front line. They have so many more issues. It's just not going to matter. That midfield will get run through very easily every game. They might even win against us, but they're not winning most of the games. They genuinely need a better midfield, a better goalkeeper, and all of this is unnecessary luxury. They can get Estupinian also. मैं कहता हूँ ये Estupinian 5 million में भी ले ले भाई. अभी जरूरत नहीं है Estupinian की.
Mm.
You don't need Estupinian right now. You need a midfielder who can run, who can handle it with Ugarte or who can handle it with Bruno. अभी Ugarte Bruno वाला midfield यार. See the midfields around you. Liverpool have McAllister, Soboslai, Gravenberch. We'll have Zubimendi, Rice, Odegaard. Chelsea will have Caicedo, Enzo, Lavia or Santos. City will have Reinders, Rodri, Cherky, Bernardo. I don't know, so many other probable
Mm.
combinations and all that
Mm.
stuff. Okay, these are just the top 4 teams I'm talking about. Spurs under Frank, I don't know what they're going to do if they get Morgan Gibbs White and whatever. Okay? Bloody Fulham will have a very good midfield as well, man. तो वही वाली बात है. I don't know, man. So again, they can go for it. I'll be obviously disappointed because my personal preference was Sesko. But honestly, man, if they've spent this window on almost 200 million on strikers again, after spending 130 million on strikers again, that is just horrible squad building. And then if they come back and say कि like हम इस हमें ये चाहिए हमारे owners क्यों नहीं कर रहे, it's just bad allocation of funds. There is genuinely a resource scarcity at Manchester United, but the problem is, unfortunately, कि I think if you point this out, it's seen as jealousy. I am not jealous. It really doesn't matter to me. Like genuinely, it really does.
Mm.
What can I do if they buy Sesko or if they buy Ambomo or if they buy whoever they want? But if somebody says, ki, like, what do you think United needs? If I have to give a neutral point of view, I will say they need midfielders because I think biggest problem at United structure last season was they were good at defense because those investments in defense eventually paid off. Right? It was so difficult to score against United against that back three sometimes.
Mm.
But their only chance creator is Ahmad and Bruno. And God forbid, if Bruno ever goes down or if he's unavailable for some games, who's going to create apart from Ahmad? These guys are finishers. Cunha is a finisher. Mbomo, all right, limited creativity, but essentially a finisher. He needs somebody to play off like Visa, right? It's only Ahmad who's creating. And if everyone is either creating and the rest are defending, then who's guarding the middle? Because Ugarte can't do it all by himself. He's not the kind of guy.
ये तो लास्ट सीजन साउथहैम्पटन से हारने वाले थे. सुलेमाना was taking their
Sulemana
case अच्छे
absolutely
से,
took
and
them.
Ahmad is the one, and eventually they rallied and
Yeah,
managed to get that
I
win.
think,
वरना तो
yeah, I just feel that it's just going after the names again. I think they do need a striker. I don't think it should be at the top of their list. It should be done, मेरे हिसाब से, if you ask my opinion, it should be done after the midfield. If they sort out a Douglas Luiz, if they get Palinia for
Mm.
themselves, and then they go for Sesko, beautiful window. But if they go for Sesko for 70, मैं कहता हूँ 60 में भी मिल गया चलो इनको Sesko.
Mm.
And then they can't get Douglas Luiz, it's the same. You still will have to play probably three forwards. One of them will be Bruno. Or if it's not Bruno, then fair Bruno will be in the middle of the park, but then Ugarte is going to get run over. So I don't know. Let's
Right.
see what happens. I think if Sesko comes in, that's a great window, but I think they need that midfielder. If you have 80 million to burn on Sesko, I'd say sell your undesirables, gather 20 more million, test Brighton for Baliba. That is what you need actually, Baliba.
Yeah.
Us level ka. If you're ready to spend 80ish million on this guy or 70 million on this guy, gather some more money, sell your Rashfords and your Garnachos and whoever else. Yeah, I think it's better for you to like get that midfielder in. But believe तो यार हम भी करते
हाँ.
मिस्टेक भाई. मैं you lack goals not because of bad attackers. I mean, yeah, you don't have great attackers, but you started lacking goals mistake भाई because अमाद की इंजरी के बाद कोई और क्रिएट ही नहीं कर रहा था. ब्रूनो और इंशाल्लाह था. ब्रूनो चला चला नहीं चला नहीं चला. बट योर प्रॉब्लम वाज कि आप गोल्स बड़े खाते थे. फिर एमरम ने आके आपका डिफेंस सॉर्ट किया पहले. ज़्यादातर मतलब जितनी कोशिश करे थे. आपकी इतनी इंजरीज हुई फिर भी आप खाते थे. बट आपका डिफेंस टफ था प्ले अगेंस्ट करने के लिए. बट इट बिकेम eventually easier when the injury started popping up because the midfield was non-existent भाई. उगाड़ते नहीं था, मेनो को जगह नहीं मिल रही थी. That was my entire thing. बट ठीक है यार. आई मीन स्ट्राइकर अगर प्रायोरिटी लगती है यूनाइटेड को करे अगेन इट रियली डजंट चेंज माय लाइफ. इट रियली डजंट मैटर टू मी. बट इफ समबडी आस्क्स मी व्हाट यूनाइटेड शुड डू आई विल से दिस. इफ समबडी आस्क्स मी व्हाट चेल्सी शुड डू आई विल बी लाइक कुकुरेया बैकअप से भाई मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट. आप गर्नाचो ले लोगे बट कुकुरेया का बैकअप नहीं लोगे. दैट्स इट. दैट्स अ सिंगल पॉइंट ऑफ फेलियर एट योर लेफ्ट बैक. बट क्या वो गर्नाचो लेके कुकुरेया नहीं लेंगे मेरे को क्या फर्क पड़ता है. इसमें जेलसी क्या है. It's the same for United. It's completely fine with me as well. Whatever they do.
अच्छा. एक सेकंड. ये यशवर्धन, आई थिंक क्या हो गया यश. यश इतना नाराज क्यों हो गया तू एकदम से. द गाय लिटरली पुट हिज स्पोर्टिंग करियर ऑन द लाइन टू जॉइन अस. सेस्को शोड नो साइंस or said anything to show he wanted to join us. Victor Gyokeres won't let us down. Maybe Arteta will. तो हाँ तो obviously there are यशवर्धन ने एक बार एक वीडियो बनाया था, very disagreed with an opinion of yours. आपने
Yeah,
अपने
yeah, yeah,
उस पे भी शेयर किया था on your
yeah,
post
yeah. I
where he
don't
was
mind
like
disagreements at
Arteta.
all. Disagreements, so I generally don't mind. It's all good, man.
Disagreements तो होएगा ही, like you just said कि वो trolling नहीं बंद होने वाला, disagreements, and especially within the Arsenal community, तो as long as there is healthy discussion on which way
Yeah,
to move forward, it is the best way to move. It is the best way to deal with things.
I have never any problems with disagreements. My only problem stems up is I think here is what I feel, and it's not to Yash. In general, I'm just saying. I think
Hmm.
I am more than happy when I'm wrong to say, oh, I was wrong. I got this wrong. Like if Gyokeres bangs, I'll be like, fucking amazing, man. Okay? But my problem becomes ki like if the counter happens and whatever the other side might opine completely different to me, and if something doesn't
Hmm.
work, they don't go like,
Hmm.
we got this one wrong. Their thing is, oh, it did not work out because something else also went wrong.
मैं एक
Like,
फटाफट से थोड़ा सा इंटरजेक्शन बोलूं,
uh,
आजकल का जो सोशल मीडिया का जमाना है, वी आर स्कैर्ड ऑफ सेइंग दैट वी वर रॉन्ग, वी आर स्कैर्ड ऑफ सेइंग दैट आई डिड नॉट नो. लाइक
mm,
मेरे से जब कोई कुछ सवाल पूछता है और मुझे नहीं पता, तो मैं सीधा बोलता हूँ मुझे नहीं पता, चाहे वो मेरे को कुछ भी बोले, वो बोले कि एक घंटा आदमी को कुछ नहीं मालूम है. एंड जब हम गलत हो जाते हैं, दैट वी आर स्कैर्ड ऑफ सेइंग कि वी आर रॉन्ग, वी स्टिल ट्राई टू डिफेंड दैट सेल्फ. सो आई थिंक दैट इज
mhm.
जस्ट आई वांटेड टू से, आई जस्ट वांटेड टू से
Yeah,
दैट.
yeah, no, exactly. So, like for example, let's say hypothetically, let's say Yash and I take opposite positions on Gyokeres. If Gyokeres bangs, personally, I would be like, oh fuck, I was so wrong about Gyokeres, man. This guy's a fucking beast. Okay? But if Gyokeres doesn't bang, and I'm like, you know what, this is my entire fear that he won't translate this. Matlab, passion merchant and all is great. But like, what's your skills, bro? Against the Van Dykes and the top defenders and shit.
राइट.
Then I don't want, again, hypothetically, from Yash's side to be like, oh, Gyökeres didn't work because Arteta is an asshole. Then I want to be like, hey, Gyökeres didn't work, भाई. अब उसमें ये बंदा अच्छा है वो तो मतलब वही वाली बात है ना. So if both sides can agree, I'll put my hands up. If what my claim is didn't come through, I will like this. Not like ऐसे तो मैं भी बोल दूं Gyökeres bang इसलिए कर रहे because Arteta in bro. उससे क्या होता है? Right. So I'm hoping that Gyökeres cooks. I'm hoping that he bangs, and I'm hoping I'm wrong on everything I'm negative about on Arsenal. When I say I don't think we'll win the league, I hope Arsenal prove me wrong and we win the league, bhai. And people will like, oh, you're so pessimist. You're like a downer. I'm like, bring it on. As long as Arsenal wins. That's my only concern. As long as Arsenal wins. That's it. My
Exactly.
opinions,
I think
yeah, that's
we will
my
all forget
opinions are
about all
like
these
mine.
problems when Arsenal wins.
Yeah, my opinions are mine simply because I just want Arsenal to win. If I'm Arteta in or out, it's because I want Arsenal to win, and that's if I'm Arteta in, it's because I want Arsenal to win, and people who are Arteta out are because they want Arsenal to win, and that's the whole thing. We all want Arsenal to win. So disagreements are completely fine. Disagreements are completely
Hmm.
okay. Just have the grace to say I was wrong about this.
Mm.
Yeah,
Humility. Yeah. True.
Yeah,
I think, and पता है क्या? I at my age, I think we're all 30 plus, I guess.
yeah,
So at our age, you will realize that accepting your faults is a strength. Accepting your mistakes is a strength, because then you allow yourself to improve. Then you allow yourself to get better, and you allow yourself to have an open mind to learn. कि यार हाँ चल मैंने
I
इस बार क्या गलत सोचा था, and stuff like that.
I think as and when you build some sort of a presence online, na, it also
Hmm.
I guess people get compelled to show that I'm ahead. Like think about like this. When people tell me ki like Daksh bhai, I listen to your stream because I think you're like fantastic ball knowledge and ye sab. Somebody's let's say they say that, okay? So it would psychologically incentivize me to make claims and then try my best to also justify, even if the counterclaim happens, it's to justify why the counterclaim happened and how sometimes I'm right, because I have to keep on maintaining this veneer ki like actually I'm ahead of the stream and this is why you should listen to me, you should dedicate your free time to me. Because if I am wrong and if I'm not invincible, or at least I don't appear invincible, then why are you following me? I'm the same as you then. But क्या होता है ना, when I watch MKBHD for example, ठीक है, and he's like, oh, this product sucks, and I use it, I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, fuck, this product was good, and everyone says, fuck, this product's so good. Now
Mm.
if he goes like a lot of times ki, oh shit, you know, like, yeah, maybe this product was good, I don't know, and everything, maybe I just misjudged it wrong, and it happens over and over and over and over again, you'll be like, yeah, maybe this guy's just not like, why am I watching this guy's reviews anyway, then he's the same as me only. So I think what happens is, a lot of times people make claims like regular people do, but then they also have to show कि मेरी thought process अभी भी क्यों ठीक है. If you
Mm-hmm.
say कि like मैं गलत था, you also sort of let go to an extent a little bit of social media clout or relevance also. I personally feel that a lot of people like
Mm-hmm.
don't say, oh shit, I got it wrong, because they want to keep on appearing that they're ahead of the curve. That's it. Until it's like
पर
completely this moment.
ईगो
isn't
पे
it
भी हो जाता है ना,
like
Hmm.
ईगो पे भी लोग ले
नहीं,
लेते हैं.
Yeah, yeah,
अपन like we have our faces on the internet now and we say things that what we believe in.
yeah. Hmm.
तो ये उसके पीछे भी थोड़ा सा रिसर्च होता होगा ना, कुछ एक्सपीरियंस होता होगा. देयर मस्ट बी सम रीजन व्हाई वी आर सेइंग व्हाट वी आर सेइंग एंड व्हाई वी आर बैकिंग व्हाटएवर वी थिंक वी आर बैकिंग. लाइक
Yeah.
जैसे मैं हूँ, लाइक आई डोंट हैव बॉल नॉलेज लाइक अद्वैत एंड आपकी तरह. आई डोंट लाइक ये जो मैंने गेम खेला था, आई वुड नॉट हैव बीन एबल टू गेस इट बिकॉज आई जस्ट डोंट हैव
Okay.
दैट काइंड ऑफ थियोरेटिकल नॉलेज. मेरे को लगा था ये गेम बहुत डिफिकल्ट है, बट मे बी कुछ लोगों के लिए नहीं है. लाइक मैं फुटबॉल खेलता था, लाइक एंड एंड लाइक प्रोफेशनल लेवल पे खेलता था. एंड मेरे मेरे को ना सब सब कुछ इंस्टिंक्ट पे आता था कि
Hmm.
गेम रीड करना ग्राउंड पर, कहाँ पे स्पेस है, कहाँ वीकनेस हो रही है, कौन सा प्लेयर लेजी हो रहा है. तो ये ना सब इंस्टिंक्टिवली आता था मेरे लिए. हमारे कोचेस
Hmm.
हमको कुछ बताते नहीं थे. हमारे कोचेस हमारे लिए बैठ के नींबू काटते थे, नींबू को ग्लूकोज में डालते थे, हाफ टाइम पे हमको चटवाते थे वो. तो हमारे कोचेस हमको कुछ नहीं बोलते थे कि क्या
Hmm.
करना है, कैसे खेलना है, ये ठीक है, वो ठीक है. ओहो, क्या ये फ्रैक्चर लग रहा है यार मेरे को, खेलेगा, ठीक है, तू
Hmm.
सूजा हुआ है, खेल लेगा. ऐसी ऐसी बातें होती थी.
Hmm.
तो we had to learn the game on the ground on our own. And like, thankfully I had a good bunch of players that I could learn the game from and understand the
Hmm.
game from.
Hmm.
एंड फिर एक बार मैं नेदरलैंड्स भी गया खेलने के लिए. तो खेलने के लिए मतलब क्या, मैं गया था वहाँ पे स्ट्रीट फुटबॉल चलता था, ऑफ सीजन था, तो आई लर्नड अ लॉट फ्रॉम दोस किड्स ओवर देयर. तो वो ना एक इंस्टिंक्ट होता है. नेवर रियली लर्नड द थियोरेटिकल साइड ऑफ फुटबॉल. But like when I talk about football, it's mostly based on like trust your instincts, trust your gut feelings and stuff like that. Because चाहे आप कितने भी वीडियोस देख लो, चाहे आप कितना भी थियोरेटिकली समझने की कोशिश कर लो, द
Hmm.
एक्चुअल फुटबॉल that you will understand will come from
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
playing on the ground repeatedly. मतलब 6-6 घंटे रोज खेलो, तब जाके
Hmm.
you will understand what football. And ये सब
Mhm.
लाइक जैसे जी भाई हैं, जी
Mm.
explains the whole thing so well.
Yeah.
But sometimes I feel that people respect it, but शायद उनको they are not being able to comprehend कि
Mm.
how much effort it goes into actually learning that system, that style. And I feel that gaming intelligence is equally important to physical attributes
Yeah, yeah,
in
yeah.
modern
Oh,
football.
that's irreplaceable. No, 100%. Like, yeah, no, I completely understand what you mean. Like, like how, not to get like too political, but like how everyone's got like a societal comment or a political comment or a geopolitical comment to make. Like,
हाँ,
oh,
आजकल
we
तो
should
काफ़ी
do
होता है.
this
काफ़ी
because
टाइम से हो रहा है एक्चुअली.
yeah. And then like everyone makes it. It's the easiest thing to make comment because it's your lived experience and you can make some comment. But then sometimes now that I've studied a lot of to a PhD level, a lot of geopolitics and international relations, and somebody says we should do this, and I'm like, yeah, I get why you're saying that, but until you are not in a room or you don't understand the thought process of how these things work, if you're not worked with the government agency before and don't understand why these logistics don't make sense, then ये सारी चीज़ें होती हैं. So I completely understand what you mean. कि like yeah, theoretical knowledge is good, but you don't really get the full understanding until I think you have a proper lived experience in that.
Yep, I agree. Uh, there are quite a lot of comments. मैं फटाफट से लेता हूँ. We don't really
हाँ,
have to answer each and every single one of them. We'll just run
cool,
through
cool, cool, cool. We'll wrap in five,
as
huh?
much as possible. Yes, I think it's a great signing for us. We haven't had a striker in a long time. It will work out, but we need more. Example, left wing. Greetings
I
from South
agree.
Africa.
I agree. Yeah,
Boca,
yeah.
Boca,
That's
Boca.
like the final piece of the puzzle. I feel. See, Eze and Rodrigo is like the picture is complete. The picture is genuinely complete, but I don't think, unfortunately, are the financial capabilities of doing that. You want a Jim
Uh,
Carrey mask and bank 35? Oh man, Jim Carrey's mask was the best. It's the best.
oh, it is. I still watch
I-
the scenes
Cartoon?
from that movie till
Oh,
this day.
okay.
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, The Mask.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
और कौन सी movies थी? Uh, Fun with Dick and Jane. There's
Mm.
just any Jim Carrey movie you can just
Jim Carrey
randomly
movies.
pick up and you can watch at any time you want. Truman
Dumb and
Show,
Dumber
whatever.
में
Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber is fantastic, man.
Good times and good movies. That's why I don't put shade on my guy Oba. He was scoring at the same
Oh,
rate
no
only
shade,
for
man. No
and
shade.
then
He
no
was a
shade. No, no,
chill
no, no,
though.
no.
This guy's
We
intense. This guy's like, fuck man. अगर मेरे को गोल नहीं मिला तो मैं लॉकर रूम फोड़ दूंगा. Aubameyang's like, बाहर में जाए भाई.
social media पे
Yeah.
actually.
thoughts on Kai Havertz physically looking way stronger.
So good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Daksh KV is a former pro bowler, by the way. Modest ban raha. Nah, nah, nah. Like
अच्छा. Okay.
the मैं वहाँ था. I was in Mayo in
Hmm.
Ajmer, Mayo College Ajmer. तो वहाँ पे you have to have a मतलब जैसे मैंने बोला ना, like if you don't want to get teased or bullied, you
Yeah,
have
just keep it
to like get
sport.
into sports.
Yeah.
So I was lucky. My father was in the merchant navy and he was doing this course, maritime logistics course in Rotterdam, and he was there for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
तो मेरे को जब मेरा स्कूल का सेशन खत्म हुआ तो उन्होंने मेरे पूरी फैमिली को वहाँ बुला लिया एंड आई वाज देयर फॉर अराउंड 3 to 4 months ऑफ
Mm.
सीजन के टाइम में.
Mm-hmm.
एंड इन रॉटरडैम एंड नेदरलैंड्स एंड ऑल दीज कंट्रीज ऐसा सिस्टम, आई मीन यूर ऑब्वियसली इन आयरलैंड, सो दे हैव दिस वेरी गुड सिस्टम, मतलब लाइक अ बास्केटबॉल साइज कोर्ट in the middle of a neighborhood and there'll be like 3 or 4 of them, hockey size goal posts and उसके ऊपर basketball ring भी होता है, but people usually just play football over there and that
Mm.
is the street football that they have. तो
Mm.
जब मैं वहाँ गया, मैं मेरे पास तो टाइम ही टाइम था. आई वाज जस्ट स्टैंड देयर एंड वेट कि यार कोई मेरे को खेलने की इजाजत दे दो. एंड
Yeah.
व्हेन दे एक्चुअली गॉट मी टू प्ले दे वर लाइक यू सक, यू नो, गेट आउट, नो विल थिंक अगर गोलकीपर की जरूरत पड़ी तो गोलकीपर खिला देंगे. एंड देयर
Yeah.
वाज दिस वन मोमेंट आई रिमेंबर, उस दिन हीट वेव चल रहा था रॉटरडैम में एट 25 डिग्री सेल्सियस. So nobody was out playing. And but
Mm-hmm.
this guy called Joshua, he was from Morocco. He just randomly saw me. मैं अकेला ग्राउंड में खड़ा हुआ हूँ, फुटबॉल जस्ट यहाँ से वहाँ भाग रहा हूँ. He came, he said, all right, you know what, you and I, we're going to play a one-on-one. It was like a basketball one-on-one. So basically like you just have to take the ball out and come back, offense, defense, that's it. He was in
Mm.
his leather jacket. वो चर्च से वापस आ रहा था, चर्च से वापस आके घर जा रहा था. He was like, बच्चे को अकेला देखा मैंने
Yeah.
सोचा थोड़ा सा इसको सिखा देता हूँ. एंड वो 4 घंटे खेला मेरे साथ. एंड ही टोल्ड मी समथिंग. ही टोल्ड मी दैट यू नो हु रॉबिन वैन पर्सी इज. यस, ऑफ कोर्स आई नो हु रॉबिन वैन पर्सी. मुझे क्यों बता रहे, मैं तो इंडिया से हूँ. So he's like, I've beaten him at this game. And he taught me how to offense, how to defense, when to press, when not to press, when to move, how to move, ये वो करना. And वो खेलते खेलते सिखा रहा था मेरे को. I've never till date I've never forgot those lessons. आज भी जब मैं खेलता हूँ,
Mm.
like that movement, that fainting, that this, that, everything. And जब मैं वापस इंडिया आया, I immediately got selected for the state team. Nationals
Nice.
खेला राजस्थान के लिए.
Nice.
So it was my, like, I was so glad that that happened with me.
That's so cool,
So
man.
yeah, it is really cool.
Yeah.
No,
Uh,
खेला भी तो है.
I उस
बोल
टाइम पे ना,
tell Daksh bhai about the Van Persie where you played with him also.
तो So when the जब सीजन चालू होने वाला था, so he and Van Persie actually came. They because Van Persie is from Rotterdam, so
Hmm.
they used to live in this place called Avenue Concordia, जहाँ पे Van Persie रहता था. They actually came to the street football ground, and it was apparently a very normal thing that he's
For
just
them, yeah,
appearing
yeah,
and
yeah,
walking around.
yeah.
And ऐसा नहीं था कि वो बहुत hype है वहाँ पे उस time पे. There
Hmm.
was not that social media thing, this or that.
Yeah, yeah.
मतलब बच्चे आते थे खेलते थे. They used to talk to him, but they were so used to him being there.
Hmm.
And he used to come around, kick a ball, this and that. And because university, Erasmus University के पास था that area, so people used to come to that ground, play and stuff like that. तो कोई ना कोई होता था खेलने के लिए.
Hmm.
But that moment, like you wish you had smartphones at that time to record this. But
Capture that,
I'm
huh?
pretty sure that if we had smartphones at that time, then ये लोग इतना public में appearance करते नहीं. तो उस time
Hmm.
पे तो हम we were living in that Orkut generation.
Mm-hmm.
तो Orkut wasn't that hi-fi. एक बार तो मैंने वो
Yeah.
Netherlands में when they were trying to get to know me, मैंने बोला था प्रियंका चोपड़ा was my girlfriend. But anyway, it's funny stuff. But yeah, it was good. I mean, Netherlands, if you want to learn how to play football, you got to go to the
Yeah,
Netherlands,
it's
man.
probably one of the best places to be. Yeah.
Mm. Total football. Johan Cruyff.
Hmm.
नहीं मैं डूबी वूबी नहीं मारता हूँ अब विवेक भाई. I don't do that stuff anymore. We don't bassoon in my house. I have. Chalo, I think we've pretty much taken all the comments.
भाई
We've
एक
had
किसका सवाल
an
पूछ ले यार,
insanely
15 बार
long.
पूछ चुका है. Sorry for
Somebody
Yeah,
asked about
out of
Simeone
off
going
topic, but
trophyless.
Simeone is going to get sacked if he gets trophyless.
Listen, opinion by
where is it?
opinion by. Look, man, like Simeone is just, you don't know Simeone before Atletico, and that's for a good reason. Is because they weren't good. Yeah, they are sort of messing up their squad building. Have been for a few years, but I don't see a manager who can come in and be like, oh, these are the flaws in Simeone. I'm going to fix them like this, and this. Maybe they can try, but I still feel Simeone gives them the best chance of upsetting the big two in La Liga. That's what I feel, man.
Yeah, I completely agree. Same. I think Simeone is the
Yeah, man.
savior. He's the one, the guy that
Yeah.
Atletico need.
I think Simeone should choose to leave when he wants. He's gotten them so much. Like, it's a top guy, dude. I think it should be up to Simeone when he wants to leave.
ठीक है. I think guys, it's Friday night. The weekend is upon us. So once again, Daksh bhai, let's not be strangers.
Oh, 100%.
Hopefully, let's stay in touch, and
Yeah.
maybe in the future, whenever another opportunity arises where we feel that a
We should do
discussion is
something
needed
together
or
again.
something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I've had an immense pleasure getting to know you, getting in touch with you. I'm pretty sure Addy has also
Yeah, big fan
been
as
looking
well.
forward
Big
to
fan.
this.
Always
Thank
followed
you
your
so much,
And
Eddie.
you know what? I got to learn a lot from you today, and thank you so much for doing what you do. Thank you so much for being such an outstanding, outstanding
Thanks,
member
dude.
of the Arsenal.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's stay in touch. Thank you so
Man.
much, Addy.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah. Thanks, Addy. I was really enjoyed your company, man. Good work on the quiz, though. Good work on the quiz.
That's right.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have to come up with something else the next
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Chalo, guys. Thank you, everyone from the chat. Everybody, enjoy your weekend. Take care of yourselves. Take care of yours. Stay happy. Stay healthy. Stay safe. We shall see you again very, very soon. EFC 25 stream might happen on Sunday night or something like that.
Oh.
Until then, take care of yourself. Bye bye.